Everything in readiness. South Australia to the left of your screen, Victoria to your right. Lee in ruck for Victoria, Johnson in ruck for South Australia. Umpire Laurie Argent gets the big game underway, a good bounce. Johnson underneath the ball, but Lee thumps it. Going through quickly for South Australia was Campbell, couldn't get it out. Players start to pile up. The umpire has seen a free kick, or is he going to bounce the ball? McIntosh in your screen, 14-26 for South Australia is Anderson. Lee again against Johnson. The ball underneath the pack once more. Trying to force it clear is Harvey. Harvey now sends the Victorians into attack up towards full forward, but South Australia's Weston comes to meet the ball and takes a good mark at centre half back. The Essendon custodian playing for his home state elects to run it over to Phillips. Phillips caught on the left leg, drive towards centre wing. Johnson getting underneath the ball. Thump clear towards the half-forward line. Connolly gives chase. Coming across for Victoria, there is Yates, who hooks the ball back to the half-forward line of the Victorians. Brereton comes to reach the ball, and he's taken a good mark on the half-forward right flank, Peter Marker.
Got a new style ahead of Brereton as he passes on, and it's a super pass to half-forward, and a good mark taken out there by Roger Merritt. Unusual to see Brereton go short then. There didn't appear to be anyone long for him, and so Merritt was the leader. Big leap across there by Phillips. Started the game very well. He gets it out to Leslie. Over it goes to Matthew Campbell. He's a tearaway player. Connolly for South Australia. Yates from behind. The ball pushed over the line, and there'll be a ball in right half-forward flank for South Australia. Neither side have yet scored. 16 in your screen out there is Kernahan. Number 2 is Mark Lee for Victoria. Lee got the tap down to no avail though. Coming in for Victoria is Osborne. He's in a bit of trouble over there, and I think the umpire has indicated out on the full. It's Craig Bradley who's going to bring the ball in very quickly. Big chance up there for South Australia, off hands Platten, but good defensive work out there by number 32 in Shane Hurd. Rushed the point, so first blood to South Australia, 1 point. Victoria yet to score.
Danaher is, or has lined up at full back. Good mark over the top by South Australia. Taken there by Kernahan.
I don't think that score counted here. There's no score. It was a free kick given in the goal square then.
Thank you, Robert Odie. Up towards full forward. Platten at the back of the pack. Ball loosed out. Hurd knocks it out towards Roberts. Joining him out there, however, is Green. Green gives it across to Osborne. Victoria come away towards centre wing on the outer side. Craig Bradley, the good mark. Running with the tide. Elects to play on centre field. He's got Johnson. That's the way the ball will go. The Crow Eaters a chance to go into attack. All the handball is not good. It missed South Australia's Thomas, and Victoria come away through Royal up towards the half-forward line. Well taken there at centre-half-back by South Australia's Phillips. Phillips is going to get a 15-metre penalty. This will bring him into the attacking division of South Australia. He goes for home with a long one up towards Russell. Danaher there with him. Players come. Roberts at the back of the pack. The umpire said play on. Roberts thought he had it. Hurd. Platten in there as well. Over the top for Victoria is Roos, but the umpire will come in and bounce the ball in the full forward left pocket for South Australia.
Quite clearly, when the ball goes up South Australia's end, the crowd go wild. When it goes up Victoria, nothing much happens. Connolly got the quick kick away, but it's going to be out on the full. Dwayne Russell made a pretty valiant attempt to mark the ball there, but it was certainly out. And the Victoria will bring it in through. Looks to be Shane Hurd, it might be. Pretty hard to pick up at this stage.
Danaher.
Might be Danaher. Danaher it was. Johnson goes up, almost unopposed on that occasion. Tries to get the ball out. Falling over the top of it there is Jeff Rains for Victoria, and the umpire is going to bounce it. Left half forward flank for South Australia. Kernahan in ruck against Lee. Lee got the tap away, and the quick comes to Wakeman. But standing in good stead there is Russell Johnson. He puts it to centre half forward. The danger kick if it doesn't come off for Victoria with a quick kick away is Hawkins. They'll come away now through Green. Poor kick up forward. Robin White applies the tackle. The umpire said push in the back. The free kick will go to Brian Royal, the Footscray Rover. He's been in top form this year. He'll go long into the pocket. A big chance for Victoria now. Roger Merritt makes great position and marks against his teammate there and Paul Weston. Should say teammate over in Melbourne, certainly not tonight. Roger Merritt, a bit of a surprise, I guess, to see him line up at full forward, but with Brian Taylor and also his former club mate in Roach being unavailable through injury, Roger Merritt has lined up in the full forward spot. The angle is evident, and he's dead centre with that kick, And that's first blood, in fact. The first score of the evening, Victoria a goal, South Australia yet to score.
That was a nice movement down the ground then by Victoria. Going to meet the ball, Guyan Royal from the forward pocket. He was interfered with by White from Melbourne Football Club. He was a little bit lucky, I thought, to get the free kick when he just threw the ball away, but nevertheless the infringement was there. It was a magnificent kick and a beautiful prop in front of Western by Roger Merritt.
At the centre bounce once more, Johnson against Lee. Waitman now having a run on the ball. The bounce favours Lee. He thumps it 30 metres over towards the half-forward line, looking up there for Ablett, but it's Victoria going to attack through Green again. The kick is an awkward one towards the half-forward line. Coming to meet it is White for South Australia, dispossessed. In goes Victoria's range, and he's going to get a free kick for a push in the back. He's about 45 to 50 metres out. Rains playing centre tonight for Victoria. Puts the ball in towards Merritt. Western with him over there, going to meet it beautifully as Ablett. And he's got it in the left full forward pocket, about 25 metres out on a 60-degree angle. Talk about players being in superlative form. How about Ablett in the first 5 or 6 games in VFL this season? Neil Barr, former Victorian player, hails from Western Australia, looking a little concerned at the moment. Ablett improves his angle, but he's off target. He's gone right across the face of goal and just nudges a point. Victoria 1-1. South Australia yet to open their account.
Some of the kicking forwards absolutely very good by Victoria. Sheedy, of course, a great skills man, and those 2 kicks by Victoria forward were excellently put.
Western kicks out. Johnson can't mark the ball. Victoria looking pretty good at this stage as the ball is thrown out by Boss. They go in again, this time through Dale Waitman, but again he's offline. A point. Paul Western won't kick out on this occasion there, and it looks to be Martin Leslie, but Victoria doing all the attacking and looking pretty slick at this time.
The little men doing well to start, Peter. The kick into the outer side. Western out there, couldn't get that one. Motley it was. The handball goes out from Hawkins into the pocket. McIntosh back in defence for South Australia. He finds out on the outer side. Bradley, South Australia going to attack. Getting up towards Roberts now, backs into the pack, but it's Victoria coming clear now as they kick over the half-forward line by Williams. Drives towards the half-forward line and Berrigan. He gets a high tackle and he's got the ball right on the attacking corner of the square. Off goes Merritt into the pocket. He's putting it towards that player. Merritt won't get there. Ducked away from him and it goes out of play in the right forward pocket. An unbelievable night for football. Ryan Royal also in top form for Victoria. 7 minutes gone. Throw in about 35 metres around. Merritt has come out from full forward to do the rucking battle with Johnson. Johnson front spot. At the back was Phillips. Thumped it clear. South Australia through Michael Ace. Gets beautifully tackled. The umpire said no, a push in the back. And Michael Ace is going to get a free kick from the full back left pocket. Ace to edge. South Australia out of defence up towards centre field. Kernahan sets himself, thumped away from him by Yates. Half forward line, a chance. Royal if he can pick it up. Royal good on the left leg, puts it out wide now in the fast moving Harvey. Harvey out there, beats one, heads towards goal. Oh, the kick's a shocker. I don't think he passed to Merritt. If so, he gave him no hope, but 30 metres out, I think he might have had a shot. Out of play in the full forward left pocket, with Victoria 1-2, South Australia yet to open their account.
He was under a little bit of pressure there on the kick, and Matthew Campbell got to him late. Phillips over the top. Victoria almost snared it on that occasion. It comes out towards Motley. He tears away from the back pocket, kicks it up towards the centre of the ground. Beautifully snared there by Osborne. He tears off and puts it into the pocket. G Victoria doing all the attacking on this occasion. Dale Waitman goes through half forward. He'll have to get rid of it quick. South Australia take it away. Johnston tears the ball up towards centre wing, but again the player in front there, Mark Yates, in front of Roberts, defending beautifully. Up goes Brereton, that bounced off his chest. Ace got rid of it very quickly. Now Bradley, there's a couple of Victorians down behind play, but they don't appear to be hurt. Bradley back to Ace. He doubles steps, then kicks it up towards centre half forward. Out comes Big Dwayne Russell, but he's a mile behind the action. And Mark Yates playing very well, took a well-timed mark.
Remember, Roberts having a bit of trouble in that forward pocket with pace at the moment. That's 3 times Yates has beaten him one-on-one.
Danaher, the Victorian half-back line right on top at the moment. Getting underneath the ball is Roos. In there a fine Mark Brereton. He's out at centre wing at the moment, wants to run it on, but couldn't get free to give it to Green. Now drives up towards the pocket. Getting back on it now is Anderson. With him there for Victoria is Roos. In the pocket. Roos throws it out now. White getting back for South Australia. He's going to run into trouble here. Gets the handball away, sort of. Not well done. Into the pocket. In there is Ablett, but it's South Australia. Gets it out through Anderson. Now McIntosh. But South Australia players are all in defence at the moment. They're under pressure. Weston beautifully hipped off the ball. And the umpire said out of bounds on the ball. And the free kick will go to Victoria. Who's it going to be? It's going to be Ablett on the half-forward right flank. No, it's going to be Osborne.
Richard Osborne it is. Paul Weston a bit nonplussed there. He thought he was out before the kick, but umpires are never wrong. Osborne's kick right into the forward area there. The big hands of Merritt can't quite take the mark. It's wide off hands again. Defending Dowley out there. The race for the ball sees Hawkins in front. In hot pursuit is Bradley. Hawkins did it well then. Dived on top of the ball. Whiteman seemed to be pulled off the ball. Daryl Whiteman, and he'll take the free kick. Well, the South Australian Rovers unsighted at this stage. Whiteman and Royal doing all the work, but it's paying dividends for the Victorian forwards. They're getting a lot of free balls coming into the forward area. Whiteman goes in long. Merritt's behind, too far behind. In front is Martin Leslie. Play on, the call is. Picking up and firing away for Victoria is Harvey. Mark Harvey it was who snared the ball. South Australians stopped for the mark. But the goal's on the board now. Victoria 2-2. South Australia yet to score.
So Martin Leslie at maximum stretch. Kick coming in, he couldn't quite control it. He ran under the ball slightly. He had a pretty good grab of it, but it was just knocked out of his hands. Wonderful bit of sharking on the ground there by Harvey, and he scores the goal. Victoria looking very sharp around the packs at the moment. South Australia, a couple of times that they've been inside half forward, having a great deal of strife with the defensive action of Victoria. The defenders coming out to meet the ball strongly. Some of their placement of the kick forward is absolutely superb at this early point of the game.
Merritt having a run in ruck for Victoria. Johnson still in there for SA. A good bounce. Johnson's tap away. Thomas Cook. It comes finally out to range. He hooks the ball to Victoria's half-forward line. Getting underneath it is White. Should take the mark. Oh, he dropped the sitter. He's under pressure now. A chance for South Australia to clear through Motley. Wants to run it out, but couldn't get the handball away. Boots to the half-forward line. Looking for Connolly. Muse there, but Connolly's got the ball for South Australia. Roberts comes to meet it now. Good mark. A lot of pressure put on him there by Yates. Robert gives it across to Thomas. Thomas steadies, heads towards goal. Shot underway, but he's offline. But South Australia have got their first score on the board, and it's taken them nearly 12 minutes to do so. 1 point the Crow Eaters, 2-2 Victoria.
Roberts looking a bit better then. Peter from the front spot, able to get away with the ball. It was a beautiful handball. Keith Thomas, usually a danger player in South Australian football. You wouldn't miss those normally.
Certainly on a good player, Roberts. Yates, G. Johnston played on with that one, but the umpire's going to give him a chance and send him back for a kick. A bit lucky. Umpires don't seem to be able to judge those when players take off. They always give them the benefit of the doubt. Russell Johnston kicks in long. Again, the kick-off line. A point for South Australia, but a couple of good movements forward. It's as free as we've seen them in their forward area in the last couple of minutes. 2 points, South Australia, Victoria 2-2.
Danaher to kick in. He gets a lead on the outer side. Out there is Hawkins. Fisted away there. Platten a chance. Hurd there with him. He's been given the tag job. Quickly back now, Hawkins. But South Australia has won a free kick for a trip. And it's Johnny Platten, the South Australia Rover. Or is it going to be Platten? No, it's going to be Bradley. No, it is Platten. I thought it was his. Platten on the half-forward right flank. Might be too far out. South Australia kicking with any breeze. There is out goes Roberts on the lead, or too far. Yates getting underneath the ball. Fine mark. The kick from Platten was a shocker. Gave Roberts no hope at all. And Yates has got the ball in the full-back pocket. He's obviously been given the chance now of standing Roberts, and he's doing a good job up to this stage. The ball coming out of defence towards Roos. There for South Australia is Anderson. The handball away is good. Michael Ace goes out short past Platten. Another shocking kick, South Australia. Coming to meet the ball is Roos. With him there is Ace. Platten in for South Australia. At the bottom of the pack, however, for Victoria is Roos. And the umpire will come in and separate. And South Australia wasted 2 good opportunities to score.
Certainly are, Ian. They're not confident on that kick forward. And what it's doing is it's building the confidence of the Victorian back line, particularly players like Yates and Danaher. Not that Danaher needs a lift in confidence. Now Russell Johnston playing well for South Australia. Stephen Connolly, a short one around the corner. McIntosh bullocks his way through the pack. Danaher, eyes on the ball, got one over the shoulder, and he gets the free kick. Peter Cameron, the Victorian umpire. Laurie Argent, the South Australian umpire. Neil Danaher, Essendon and Victorian captain. Certainly a wonderful player. He'll kick it into the centre half forward area. Gee, that's not a percentage kick. Kernahan! Oh, I bet you that Chris Mew's not too happy about that ball coming out there. No percentage in that kick at all from Danaher. Kernahan's kick is astray again. Aish is behind Osborne. The ball gets knocked away into the forward pocket area. There will be a ball in.
It's a strange move. In fact, Kernahan playing at centre half forward. Johnston's coming off the ground now. And Mick Redden from North Adelaide coming on. But I think that Kernahan might be a bit of a problem in that full forward area, Ian.
15 minutes gone. Victoria through Merritt. Kernahan there. Victoria's Green takes the ball away, kicks to the outer side, up there looking for the lead of Brereton, and he's got it, but he's on the half-back flank at the moment. Brereton wants to play on. The umpire hasn't given 15 metres. He'll go back to take his kick to send Victoria over the centre line. Nice looking kick to the half-forward line. Coming to meet it now. Big leap up there by Victoria, but going through. Waitman couldn't pick it up. The umpire said, push in the back. Waitman elects to play uncaught on his right foot. The kick going to drop short. In there is Anderson, a good take as he comes through South Australia's half-back line. The kick is a shocker. Doesn't give Bradley much of a chance. Victoria's 21 in range has pulled off the ball. Bradley back on the half-back line. He'll come right out across goal. Out to McIntosh. If it sits, he's got a chance. It's 2-on-1 there. McIntosh on the left leg. Chooses to go long. Once again, 2-on-1 to Victoria there. Big leap. In Platten. Platten is led. The umpire said, play on. Oh, yes, play on. Getting back in defence for Victoria is Green. He in turn will go to Vanderhart. Kicks long to the half-forward line. Brereton. Phillips over the top. First to recover will be McIntosh. Use his body. Collett. Redden. Now South Australia through Antrobus. On the left leg, gives a chance now to Anderson. The Crow Eaters into attack. Oh, is anyone home? Danaher getting back on the ball. Fine defensive mark. And he's got the ball right on the edge of the square.
I think South Australia might think of a change down there. Kernahan to full forward and Dwayne Russell to centre half forward. I think that pay off in both instances as Russell Green gets the ball across. Victoria going to run it out now through Chris Mew. He runs through the centre. No contest. I let him do it alone. A big punch away from Weston. It might come off though. That goes into the centre of the ground, and Victoria through Darren Williams go forward. Merritt's there. Can't take the mark. Or Mark Lee it was in fact. Couldn't take it. Anderson no. Or Motley it was doing great work back there. Gets the kick away. Fighting for the ball out here is Paul Roos against Anderson. That looks like a line ball. And umpire Argent will give it a bounce. Well, certainly very pacey at this stage, as you would expect in the first quarter. A lot of these, or all of these players played on the weekend. They'd be running out a few sore spots at this early stage, but umpire Laurie Argent will bounce again. Change for Victoria now. We see Peter Russo getting ready to come on. The bounce down right half forward flank for Victoria. Brereton in front, did it well. Fighting for the ball, Campbell. White's pushed off the ball. The kick away from Harvey. Through it goes into the forward pocket. Running past the ball was Leslie, but a free kick for pushing the back to Paul Weston.
Paul Weston has Bradley on the outer side, but I think he'll come grandstand side. Going down ground. Phillips up there. Russo quickly into the action. A chance for South Australia now through Redden. Gets the handball away. Matthew Campbell gave it across to Thomas, but once again the South Australian forward line found wanting, and Danaher takes the easy mark. Green gives a lead, as does Merritt. He's going for Merritt. Merritt's got it on the defensive corner of the square. Gets a run from Green. Green gets it in the 1-2 drive now to the half-forward line. Brereton out on the lead. Phillips right there with him. Goes for the safety off the line. Hello, it's on. All good friendly stuff. That'll bring the crowd to their feet. South Australia haven't had a lot to cheer at this stage. Down 2 points to 2-2. Dermot Brereton. What he did against South Australia in the Hawthorn Port Adelaide Cup game was tremendous. Fine effort. Lee got the tap back, not Lee, Merritt it was. In there is Green against Aish. They can't get it out. Over the top, however, for Victoria is Rains, and the umpire will come in and bounce the ball on Victoria's half-forward right flank.
Well, the Victorian running players are dominating at the moment. Royal, Wakeman, Green getting kicks at ease. Brereton smashes it forward again. Wakeman nudged Royal in there, trying to pick the ball up. Can't. Now McIntosh, probably South Australia's best player at this point. Kicks around the corner. Coming through is Richard Osborne for Victoria, but he has the ball stolen by Keith Thomas. Antrobus running now. He pirouettes but gets caught. Russell Green for Victoria. Tackle, put down. Players down at this stage. A South Australian player holding his head. That's Anderson. Umpire Peter Cameron runs in, has a chat to a couple of players, but Anderson appears to be in trouble on centre wing. Meanwhile, there's a free kick given to Michael Redden. He kicks it up to half forward. The move has been made. It looks like Dwayne Russell's at centre-half forward now. Matthew Campbell's got the run of the ball for South Australia. Now Motley. He'll kick it up to half forward, but again a very poor kick. Yates for Victoria will come away with ease. Dale Wakeman in the centre. Anderson up for South Australia. Running freely now is Russo. He's got it at left half forward for Victoria. The kick forward is awful. It goes through Matthew Campbell. The handball came out and it's tapped on by Weston. Straight to Dermot Brereton. His hair's almost on fire, Dermot Brereton, but a free kick has been given to the Victorian player in Russo. Peter Russo it is. Leeds are on. Mark Lee's in the square. He's not known for his marking ability, so the ball is put short to Darren Williams. He couldn't do anything with it. Bradley comes up and gives it to Aish. The long handball goes away to Phillips. He shoots one over the top, but that'll be to no avail whatsoever. Victoria run away with that through Mark Boss. He looks for Dermot Brereton, and that was pretty well put. Chipping it in front, Bradley, and he's going to be paid the mark.
Bradley's on the half-back flank. Victoria 2-2, SA 2 points. South Australia really struggling. Bradley's fifth kick is a tumble punt up towards centre field. Danaher couldn't get this one. Hurd can at the back. Coming up with the ball is Green in turn. He gives it across to Rains. Rains now might have been viewed to Rains. A long kicked up to Brereton. Paid the mark. Brereton about 45, 50 metres out. Should make the distance, although he's into an ever so slight breeze. Nice looking kick. It's going to be touch and go. Starting to hold up in the breeze. But I think the ball is off the side of the boot just fractionally, and a point to Victoria 2-3, South Australia 2 points.
South Australia have got big problems up forward. They haven't got it working for them yet. The kick off from Leslie. Motley got a bit of a push under that ball. Through goes John Platten. Hasn't been in the game a great deal, but he gets the kick up to half forward again. We see Danaher coming across with the easy punch away. Out there is Russo. He's done very well in the last couple of minutes, and he gets the quick kick away. For Victoria is Roger Merritt. Platten's in hot pursuit. Got the longest hair in the league over here, Johnny Platten. It'd certainly be easy to tackle if you wanted to hurt him. Merritt's sitting on top of him at the moment, and I think Johnny Platten will get the free kick. A near capacity crowd here at Football Park. Weather conditions near perfect. Platten's kick is into the centre of the ground again, not well put. Punching it away is McIntosh. Dwayne Russell it was who got it out wide to Michael Aish. The kick forward to Bradley. Bradley has to go back because he's got no one to kick it to. They're all out at centre-half forward. Aish provides the link. Kernahan wants it out in front of him. The kick forward finds Thomas. Thomas has got it in the forward pocket. And South Australia's best chance to kick a major. It's amazing. They couldn't go long then, South Australia, because there was no one to kick to, and they had to come in short. 2 or 3 little kicks. Found Keith Thomas. He sets it up. South Australia's first major.
So that was a little bit fortunate there for South Australia. Victorian player missing a mark in the centre of the ground. He fumbled it. It was knocked away by Gary McIntosh. South Australia took advantage of the play, and on a Victorian error on that occasion, they went into attack, and some very innovative play there by Michael Aish. And instead of going to Kernahan in front of the goal, which each Victorian backman expected to do, just dropped it short. A beautiful placement of the kick.
(2-3 to 1-2). Victoria lead. Played almost 23 minutes. The Vicks by 7 points. Umpire Peter Sutton puts the ball back into play. At the back is Lee. Michael Aish. An awkward kick going towards Dwayne Russell. Chest mark, did it well. Russell gets a lead from Kernahan into the pocket. Right there with him now, however. His view. Kernahan at the back of the pack. Can't bring it down. At the back now, waiting for the ball for South Australia. Andrews. And the umpire said play on, and the ball has been rushed through for a point. The South Australian fans screaming for a push in the back, for the umpire unsympathetic, and South Australia register their 3rd point.
Well, they're certainly playing better in the last couple of minutes. The shift from Kernahan to full forward, or more particularly Russell to centre-half forward, has worked. Bradley was up way before acceptances. Gets a bit of a push, but pretty well done there by Mark Harvey, but his kick is smothered. McIntosh got the handball back, but it missed Connolly. Victoria will get out of it now. Running it through is Osborne. His kick was smothered. Plenty of heavy body work out there as Russo goes down. Bradley pirouette into trouble. Mark Lee gets a slick handball out, and that finds Rains. Victoria to attack now. The man in front, Motley, nearly took a one-hander. Couldn't bring it in. Kicking off the ground is Darren Williams. Running away from the pack is Motley. Did it superbly. Platten's at half forward. He's outstretched though, and Osborne takes it off the pack. It clears for the Vics yet again. The man in the centre is Keith Thomas. He put the ball down. Pack of players in the centre of the ground, and we'll see a ball down in that position.
It's interesting, that mark's very difficult to take in the dark because it's not like the daylight. It's coming down out of the air. If you're ever trying to catch a ball coming out, even though it's light, you're looking up into the darkness background. Very difficult to mark that ball.
Thumped clear by Boss. It'd be difficult with the pressure out there, I can tell you. Connolly gets a surprise handball. Out comes Roberts, but coming to meet the ball well was Yates. A chance for Russo, too slow. He got Collin. South Australia a chance to go into attack now. A long handball out by Connolly. Thomas gives a chance. Roberts smothered off the boot. Kernahan, no! It wasn't touched. Kernahan's got it. It was an awful kick. It was a tumble punt. The Victorians thought it would have been a better one. Kernahan came to meet it. On the chest, he's got it 25 metres out right in front. The man who kicked double figures against the Vics last year in that epic struggle when the Vics got up by 4 points, heads towards the lake end. That's home. Kernahan's first. South Australia tie up the ball game. 2-3, both teams.
And Neville Roberts getting a kick, getting out in front now, working much harder. South Australia blocking off the boot. Chris Mute making an error with the ball. Picked up on a very slow disposal there by Peter Russo. Enabled South Australia to get possession of the ball. And once again, Stephen Kernahan perhaps having that ounce of luck. There he was, just a couple of metres in front of Terry Danaher, taking the mark. And South Australia up into the game again. All the scores locked together, and we're almost into time on.
In fact, we are in time on, and there's Footy Park in the distance. As we said, an air capacity crowd, weather conditions pretty close to perfect. Mark Lee back in ruck for Victoria against Redden. Lee got the hand of the ball, Rains got the handball out. Green is collared high, lucky to get away with it. In fact, he didn't. Umpire Laurie Argent said he ducked his head. And ducking your head in football is out.
Speed up by Peter Cameron said the same. He was the other end of the square, just saw him ducked his head down to indicate to Laurie Argent.
Oh, he's not a bad judge either. Andrews got it out to Thomas. The running player is Phillips. He's come way down from centre half back. All eyes on Kernahan. Off hands a point. South Australia certainly looking much better. And there's some running players getting into it now. Andrews, Platten and Thomas.
Also out on the wing, Craig Bradley. South Australia steady. The kick in on that occasion comes from Victoria's Chris Mew to the outer side. Almost a mark there out to Lee. But it's Victoria now through Green, or was it Green? I think it could have been Rains. Up towards centre field. The long handball from Ablett is a good one. Victoria go into attack up towards the half-forward line. Getting back on it is Weston with Merritt. Wakeman can't get him. The handball goes out. South Australia through Martin Leslie. Kicks long with the lead of Connolly. Two Victorians there. Ablett is one of them. Finally, it's picked up by Mark Yates, who puts it back to the Victorian half-forward line. Wakeman comes to meet it, but it's well taken by Motley on the half-back line.
He's the one who's really tightened in across the half-back line for South Australia. A couple of his takes have been very, very good.
Motley's sixth kick as it goes high towards half-forward line. Siren sounds. A top first quarter here at Football Park. South Australia came from the clouds towards the end of the quarter to lead at 1 point at quarter time, 2-4 to 2-3. Decent kick away. Start of the second quarter here. South Australia 2-4, Victoria 2-3. Your caller, Peter Marker.
In ruck, it's Lee for Victoria against Johnston. A line ball in there. It comes off hands to Platten. He gets a quick kick away. Roberts tries to get front spot. Can't get it. The handball out to Roberts. He wants his left foot, but he gives it back to Kernahan's. He fires away with his left foot. Puts it straight through for his second goal. And what a magic start for South Australia in this second quarter. 3-4, leading the Vics 2-3.
Well, Neville Roberts has put his hand on the ball again. South Australia coming into attack from the centre of the ground through John Platten. Big Russell Johnston back in the ruck for South Australia. Kernahan went to meet it well. Roberts got himself into all sorts of strife, but Kernahan, under the pressure, still able to find some direction with the kick and aimed it very well indeed, straight through the big ones. So South Australia going to a lead.
Yes, Robert, by 7 points at the centre bounce. Lee against Johnson. Lee gets the tap away over towards Brereton, running against the tide. The umpire said it was in the back to Victorian to get the free kick. Players getting just a little excited as Brereton, the least excited of all of them, he's got the ball. Goes long now up towards full forward. Out comes Merritt. He stumbles, but he's still got the mark. He beat 2 South Australians who both seemed to have the ball well covered. Merritt stumbled out of the way and he still kept his eyes on the ball and took a fine mark about 30 metres out. Merritt kicked a goal in the first quarter. Victoria changing their ruckman at full forward in the absence of Brian Taylor, who unfortunately was, for them, was injured. Head on to goal to the Lake end. Merritt's nice looking kick, threads it through the centre, his second. The Vics come back, but still trail by a point, 3-3 to 3-4.
When Dermot Brereton played for Hawthorn against Port Adelaide in the night match here on Football Park, he played very well indeed, and that kick was a magnificent kick. Roger Merritt, I thought, pushed in the back there on Paul Weston. Paul Weston playing in front, trying to stop Merritt getting a run at the ball. Merritt just let him go there and then just gave him a little push and then pushed back off his body and took a well-judged mark. But it was a magnificent kick by Brereton. It must have come at some 60 metres up ground. Umpire now having a little bit of a talk on the half-forward line too, Phillips and Brereton. They've both been at each other. Certainly a dour contest there.
Well, it would appear they don't like each other. They're certainly conducting a bit of a war out there. The umpire didn't recall that bounce. A bit of a surprise as Lee taps it back on the second chance. Through goes Phillips. Brereton making good position. The Campbell handball comes out. Back to Lee. Victoria going again. Paul Weston dives towards the ball but can't get near it. Here's Ablett and Aish. No free kick to Ablett on that occasion as he went down. The kick away comes from Williams. He goes to centre half forward. Harvey. No punch away from the South Australian defenders. And Mark Harvey was allowed to take the mark uncontested. Fine young player, Mark Harvey. Kicked a goal in the first quarter. Should have no difficulty with this one. No angle. About 40 to 45 metres. Having said all that, the kick's a shocker. It's just got the point. So the scores are level here at Football Park. About 3 minutes into the second quarter. 3-4 South Australia, 3-4 Victoria.
Indication there of the little bit of slipperiness on the ground. His back foot slipped as he went to kick that ball.
Leslie kick into the outer side. Over there is Connolly using his body well. Hawkins couldn't. Beautifully taken by Connolly. Caught on the left leg, which is his natural leg. Goes to the half-forward line. Fine mark back there, Chris Mew. And he's got it just the check side of centre wing on the outer side. Mew gets 15 metres. Umpire Peter Sutton right on the ball there. Mew fires a long one in towards Peter Cameron, I beg your pardon. Fires the ball in. Phillips there, couldn't get it clear. Out goes Bradley. Hawkins pulled off the ball. Motley trying to get through Anderson. Now it's Motley. Nowhere to go. Gets around the corner up towards centre field, but it's taken by Rains. He loses it to Matthew Campbell. The speedster comes off the half-back line. It's a loose ball. Coming to meet it, however, for South Australia was Antrobus. He's got it. If he can pick it up, he's under pressure. And finally, he can't pick it up and it tumbles out of play. Half-forward left flank. 3-4, both teams. What a sight. Lee and South Australia's Russell. Lee just takes the ball casually almost, drives Victoria into attack up towards White. He couldn't get it. Getting back on top of it is Motley. Phillips waiting the outcome. Ablett there as well, and the umpire will come in and bounce the ball on Victoria's half-forward right flank. 22
points each at this stage. Pretty good struggle out there. It's a battle of defences and attacks. It's a battle all over the ground, in fact. Lee doing a lot of heavy work that some of his perhaps shorter players should be doing. Campbell gets the kick away. He's playing very well out there, Chris Mew. He's got too much height and reach for Russell at this point. Chris Mew it is. Playing at centre half back. I noticed that Danaher went back to full back to Stan Kernahan. I don't think they can make any more moves in that position though, unless they switch them again, but I don't think they'll do that for a while because Kernahan's doing the job at full forward. So we're at right half forward flank for Victoria. Bit of an untidy patch of football as sides work each other out, but it's Lee again. He's doing well in ruck. Big chance for Roger Merritt again. But that's punched away on that occasion by Leslie. The chance now for Victoria as they go in again. The man in front is Motley. He's got the job on Ablett, as I mentioned before, and he's doing it pretty well. Although Ablett doesn't really need that many kicks. That's Motley's 8th kick. Connolly can't take it for South Australia. Russo ran past the ball. The umpire will come in and have another bounce. Left half forward flank. Leslie is at fullback at the moment on Roger Merritt. Johnston and Lee. Off hands it comes to Russo. The quick kick away, Phillips. Beat Brereton on that occasion. Well, he was in the right spot, put it that way. Kernahan will get a free kick. Play on calls the umpire. A big chance for South Australia. Connolly, Andrews. Connolly will go back onto the left boot. He uses ace, he'll get run down. Not good work on that occasion, and that was an untidy tackle. The umpire wants to play it on though. Danaher, he's caught. The handball under pressure. The South Australian crowd want a free kick, but it's not there. Danaher kicks away. Russell Johnson marks the ball at centre wing to slow things down a bit.
Gives it across to Bradley. South Australia going to attack on the outer side. Andrews, fine pass. Andrews has got it 45 metres out. Into the pocket went Roberts. But Andrews is going back to kick long. Well, he's going to have a short kick now. It's a shocker. It is an awful kick, well taken by Russell Green. Gives it to Wakeman, barges his way through, and Victoria kick clear. Long up towards Johnson. All he gets there's underneath the ball. Osborne for Victoria. Comes out with the ball. No, that is Harvey. Harvey is taken high. Umpire said he ducked into it. Ducked the chutney, and he's been pinked for holding the ball. Campbell got it from McIntosh. South Australia into attack again. Going to meet it is Danaher, and also there a fine mark taken in defence by Mew, and he's playing a fine game for Victoria. Chris Mew, the man from Hawthorn, runs at the boss. He's under pressure. Cooley gives it across now to Danaher. He loses the ball. Jammed on the boot of Green, not well directed. Johnson, Bradley, almost an action replay of just a moment ago, but the kicking of South Australia is awful. It pinpointed Yates on the outer side. He gives it across now to Hurd. He in turn goes centre wing. Up there looking for Russo. No, that is Rains. Hooks around the corner. His kick's not much better. Good take by Thomas. Handball's a shocker. Anderson to use his pace. Brilliantly does it. Puts South Australia into attack up towards full forward. Well taken there by Russell. He's got it for touch into the pocket about 25 metres out. Most acute angle. The kicking has not been good, as Robert Odie said. It may be the dew just starting to form on the top of the grass, but neither side has really passed the ball well. Dwayne Russell has been moved from pillar to post in the opening quarter and a half. Nice little chip shot going right across the base of goal. In fact, it's out of bounds on the full. 3-4 both teams. 9 minutes gone, second quarter.
Perhaps he would have been better playing golf, Ian. Certainly didn't work for him. Lee couldn't take the mark, but geez, a fighter. In fact, he beat South Australia's top rover for the ball on the ground. Then in Platten, Aish, Platten, back to Connolly. That's very slick. The kick in is going to be too long. Russell gets back, but can't get far enough. And it's out again in the left forward pocket.
Somebody doesn't like Dwayne Russell in the Victorian side, Peter. He's giving him half the oval to work in.
Well, who is it at this stage? I think he's at centre-half forward, and I think Mew is on him. Kernahan in ruck. Lee has to get rid of it quickly. Danaher tears away from half-back. Puts it out in front of Dermot Brereton. Big Phillips went up behind. Spoiled him well. Osborne back to Brereton. Now Russo. He's got it at left half forward onto the left boot. In front on this occasion is Leslie, and he takes a good mark. Roger Merritt couldn't quite go with him for pace. As you might expect, Leslie comes out to centre wing. In front is Green, uncontested. He'll pass it off now to Danaher. He could run into trouble, but he gets it clear. Rains normally kicks long. This is no exception. No one home for Victoria. The one-handed attempt there. It comes out to Ablett. Left boot. Goal to Ablett. That's his first goal. It came off hands. Well done.
Well, Victoria in all sorts of trouble, I would say, at this time. They're getting the goals. They're just forcing the ball up the ground. South Australia have had countless opportunities, and Gary Ablett getting one of the few opportunities he's had for the night, just putting it onto his boot quietly. Very nice handball to him. But South Australia with all the play. Neville Roberts leading Craig Bradley off leg a little while ago, giving Bradley no one to kick at. But Victoria taking advantage of their opportunities, and they're holding the lead, even though I feel they look behind.
4-4 to 3-4. Victoria lead up towards the pocket. Getting back on it for South Australia is Motley. coming through centre half back. He elects to kick long. Johnson there with Lee. The Port Adelaide player gets his hands to it, but Rains quickly swoops on the crumbs. Hooks around the corner to the half-forward line. Over there it's Connolly trying to fist the ball away. Victoria with a chance. If Russo can pick it up, gets it out as far as McIntosh. McIntosh elects to run it. Michael Ace going to run into trouble. Books beautifully, sets it up out wide. Or Bradley or Anderson in trouble. Connolly now. South Australia go forward. Out goes the pass. Roberts underneath the ball. Thumped clear. Hurd thumps it further clear. And it goes into the pocket. Antrobus for South Australia. Close to the line. Loses his footing. He's done that a couple of times this time. Connolly gets the ball out again. South Australia under pressure there as finally the kick goes away from Yates. Back up towards centre wing. Johnson. South Australia through Anderson. They can't find a winner at attack at the moment. Here's a chance, Russell. Well, he's got 3 kicks in the last 4 or 5 minutes. He's starting to be a force. Or he thought about passing across to Thomas. Out goes Roberts. He doesn't want that player going in long. Ball going to drop short. Danaher there. Michael Ace for South Australia. Quickly goes through Osborne. Put paid to that. But he's booted the ball out of bounds on the full. And the penalty free kick will go to SA. South Australia in the full forward left pocket. Will be taken out there by Antrobus. Goes in short. Roberts, good lead, good punch. He's eased the angle by about 20 metres. I don't think he's eased the distance. But Roberts is a sharpshooter. He's going in short again. Thomas. South Australia edging the ball around to head on. And Thomas now is almost head on to goal. And he's 30 metres out. He booted one in the first. Towards the golf course end, he's into the breeze. Normally a fine kick of the football. Oh, that's going to drop short. It's not a good kick. Danaher in front, going through strongly, however, was Boss. Gave a chance to Mew. Victoria clear through that player. With ease, kicks long out or dropping short. Here's a chance now. Johnson, he's setting it up with some handball. It's not a good one. Hawkins against Anderson, 1-on-1. Johnson wants it out. In goes White. Waitman there with him. White too good on that occasion. Gets away a handball, but it's a shocker to Green. Centre field, Victoria under pressure. McIntosh again. Over the top range. Through goes Green. Bradley now joins in for South Australia. The handball is wild. Antrobus a chance to go through. Back there with him for Victoria is Boss. Under pressure now from South Australia's Thomas. And the umpire will come in and bounce the ball. And Neil Baum looks worried.
Well, I guess all coaches are pretty worried right through the game. Kevin Sheedy. He's a very competitive man by nature, and he'd certainly like to win this one. McIntosh fighting at ankle level, as he often does, doing plenty. The Victorians go out of defence. That kick won't find a player, though. In fact, it's out, but not on the full, and there'll be a ball in centre wing, outer side of the ground. Victoria lead by 1 goal. South Australia have done a fair bit of attacking in this quarter, but they haven't been too productive up forward. Some of their short kicking just hasn't paid off at all. Russell Johnston doing well. It goes out to Anderson. He gives Bradley the chance. Both wingmen on the same side of the ground for South Australia. The chance now for Danaher in front. Roberts off hands. Bradley, Kernahan. No one to kick to. The handball comes out to Ace. Off hands, Antrobus. Goal! Great work, Antrobus. He ran past Ace. That's his first goal. Scores the level again. 4-4 apiece.
You don't see any better than that. Michael Ace has nothing better than the quick handball, and that's the way to fix it up. Ace carrying hold, possession in all sorts of stride. Kernahan giving him the ball, leading a little flat-footed. Victoria had him under control. Danaher unable to just get there in time, and Ace just flicking it out of his hand towards Antrobus. And what a wonderful movement that was by South Australia to square the scores.
McIntosh sends South Australia into attack again. 4-4 both teams. Up towards full forward. Coming to meet it there almost. Danaher got it. Hurd back in defence. He's under pressure. And the umpire will come in and bounce the ball inside the South Australia half-forward line. 28 points apiece. Lee against Kernahan. Kernahan's tap away out there in front of Antrobus. Working him hard is Green. He goes out. Hurd now. Elected to play on. Gets the handball out. Right out in front there of Royal. But he can't get to it before it goes out of play. A throw in, half forward, left flank. Lee going across to Victoria. Kernahan for South Australia. Lee's got the strength. Kernahan used his body. Michael Ace, but he's going to get a free kick, Kernahan. Too far out to score. Going to put it in with a chance. Looking for Roberts. Up over the top comes Danaher. Back quickly now, Osborne. or was it? It was Harvey, and coming clear is Green. Up towards the half-forward line. Weston gets hepped off it. Well played. A chance now for Victoria through Gerard Healy, who's onto the turf. Drives long. Victoria into attack. Good mark in defence, Peter Motley, and he's got it at centre-half back.
He's certainly making it hard for Gary Ablett to get into the game because Motley also is a fine aerialist. That's his 10th kick, by the way. Onto the outer side of the ground, we see Shane Hurd. He's doing a pretty good job on Platten. Back it comes to Gerard Healy. He always hurts South Australia. Can certainly kick goals. Punching away Phillips into the right forward flank area against Dermot Brereton. A nice salute from Dermot Brereton, and well, that hair is certainly a lot brighter than it was when we saw him a month ago. Must have had the good rinse. Lee behind, the punch away from Redden. Back it goes to Phillips. Hooks around the corner. Under the ball out there for Victoria is Doug Hawkins, and he did it pretty well. Used the body well, Hawkins. Been a fine player over many years. Fires it in towards Brereton, but it was Redden who intercepted for South Australia. McIntosh took it on hands. He has to hook it around the body. Thomas for South Australia punches back towards Michael Aish, and that was pretty well done as Aish goes forward. Connolly's on the half-forward flank, and he takes the mark. The Victoria was Mark Boss, who couldn't quite get to him. Connolly's 8th kick as he goes forward. Roberts goes up in front, but the big punch away comes. Back, in fact, to Osborne. He clears for Victoria. Not well, though. He's gone out on the full.
Anderson, the penalty-free kick. The attack side of centre wing on the outer side. 17 minutes gone. South Australia to go into attack for both teams. Next week, Foster's Cup game comes from here. Norwood against Geelong. A kick in towards Kernahan. Off the fingers. Thomas gets it out. Charles Androbus. South Australia now through Connolly again around the corner. An awkward one for Roberts. He comes to meet it now as Dwayne Russell. With him there for Victoria is Boss. And the umpire will come in and separate players for a bounce on the half-forward line. A low-scoring game here at Footy Park. And the long-awaited interstate clash. Kernahan gets Rerett. Michaelos works the ball towards the pocket. He's got to concede ground now. G's in trouble. Gets it out. Platten now with a chance. Nowhere to go this way. Vanaway hooks around the corner. 3-on-1 back there. Clubs will clear by Victoria. Chance for Royal to clear. Out wider still now is Osborne going for a run as Victoria eased the pressure, kicking long out of defence. Over to the outer side there. Motley over the top now of Ablett. Recovers beautifully. He's going to set up the loose man. The Victorians can't draw the defence. Now it has to go. Waitman on the half-forward line. Straightens up on the right foot. Goes in long. Getting back. Leslie at the back is Gerard Healy. And the umpire said play on the ball. Looks like a high tackle. South Australia may have been a little lucky. Point Victoria.
I think South Australia were dead lucky here. Seemed to get a whack across the ear on the way through, and Paul Weston clears out to the grandstand side. Up goes Michael Aish, but a good mark there, taken by Mark Harvey. Started the game well with a goal in the first quarter. Kicks into the pocket, but that's originally not well directed, but Brian Royal does it well. Hooks it back to give Victorian forwards a chance, and that was well done. And Van der Haar's taken the big mark, and he took it without a big punch away either. And gee, there's a couple of South Australian defenders that are not really going for the punch. Campbell tried it on that occasion, but Van der Haar's a big, strong man. Took some big marks in his club game on the weekend. A fine goal. His first. Victoria 5-5, South Australia 4-4.
So Paul Van der Haar, been renowned for his great marking in the VFL, just showing us an example then of how easy it can be if you make the right position in front, just rearing up into the air, just giving the South Australian defence no opportunity whatsoever to get at that ball. Great strong pair of hands, just holding his ground ahead of Matthew Campbell. And Matthew Campbell, usually a pretty strong man, but unable to make any impression on the big fellow on that occasion.
5-5 Victoria, 4-4 South Australia, ball centre field. The ball comes from Waitman to Rains. The running player is Mew. He kicks to the half-forward line, but coming to meet it and doing it well is Robin White for South Australia, and he's got the ball at centre half back. Playing VFL football for Melbourne. A good kick back up towards centre field. Connolly caught behind. Kernahan swallowed. Here's a chance now for Van der Haar again. Gets the ball out in front of Waitman. Couldn't get it clear. Van der Haar again through. Here's a chance for him to go on the left leg. Brereton a chance, caught on the left leg, back on the right. Puts around the 4-4.
Well, they had a big chance to get a goal in Victoria. Great body work by Van der Haar. But a bit of pressure put on Brereton when he kicked the ball. A leap from behind to no effect as we see Phillips come through the pack. The umpire has seen one. The Victoria player holding his head. Umpire Peter Cameron has given a free kick to Brereton. He pointed at a South Australian player. It would be unfair of me to name him because I didn't see who he pointed at, but he was unsighted at the time. Big leap there by Ablett, no mark. Gerard Healy can't get away with it. Royal can. He hooks around the corner, but the kick-off line, in fact, out of bounds. Change coming for Victoria. Getting ready to come on is Darren Williams. But the action is back into the left forward pocket. Mark Lee in front, controlling the aerial work. Off hands, Wakeman, but he's kicked it out on the full. Well, that left foot didn't work for him. Victoria 5-6, South Australia a 4-4, and we're past 21 minutes in this second quarter.
Unlike Dale Wakeman, South Australia's Antrobus has got to go and get the ball. 5-6 to 4-4. Over 20 minutes gone. Very low scoring game. Antrobus kick back towards half-back flank. Brereton is a leaper, fine mark. Uncontested almost. He could surely make the distance from here. The kick is a nice-looking drop punt. It's going just offline. Getting back on it is Phillips. But Victoria register another point, or is it going to be a free kick? No, it's a point.
In fact, Phillips kicks off. The point paid. Motley run over the top of by Mark Harvey, and he'll take the free kick. 5-7 Victoria, South Australia 4-4. Motley goes short. South Australia trying to run it out. Now Weston having a good year with Essendon. Playing fullback, gets the occasional run up forward, loves to kick goals. Kernahan's at centre-half forward. The thump away comes as you would expect. Bradley tries to get the kick away, doesn't go too far. Centre-half forward for South Australia there now. A bit untidy in there. Platten gets the free kick, plays it on Roberts. He's under the ball and he takes the mark. And he will get 15 metres without a doubt. Wasn't a very wise thing to do then by Yates, because he was within sight of the umpire. And the umpire, of course, saw it. And Roberts knows how to kick goals. Played with Richmond in the VFL 6 or 7 years ago. He's hooked that one across his body, but he's got it. One goal, Neville Roberts. South Australia 5-4, trial Victoria 5-7.
So we see then a rebound from South Australia. Roberts getting the kick in front of goal. Just while all that was happening, it was interesting to see Dermot Brereton run from centre-half forward for Victoria right down to the half-forward. I'd have a few words with Stephen Connolly. The play then by South Australia, the little fellow Platten getting the ball forward, giving Roberts a little bit of room to manoeuvre in up in the forward line with a quick disposal. And Roberts, of course, doesn't need 15 metres to put him within 15 metres of goal for an easy one like that.
5-7 to 5-4. Almost 24 minutes gone. Centre bounce, a good one. Getting up high was Redden to Michael Ace. Yes, they go forward again to the half-forward line. Thomas in front, but he's swallowed by the Victorian defence. Going through and doing it well with South Australia's Anderson, but kicking clear is Osborne for Victoria. Out there, Michael Ace got a B-grade bounce. Quickly in the scene there is Williams for Victoria. Holding the ball. Playing on quickly now is Motley. Puts it up into the pocket. Getting back on it, Van der Haar. Russell there with him. Van der Haar. Fine mark. He's paid. And not Van der Haar, Danaher. And he's got it in the right back pocket. Terry Danaher. Brilliant first quarter. Fine player. Kick number 8. Trying to extricate himself from the streamers. Coming into time on. Gee, he's taking his time. Goes in short. To Russell Green. Close to the line. Victoria edge out of defence. They lead by 3 points. A longer kick on this occasion. Up towards Van der Haar, and also in the front of the pack there is Merritt. Looking for a running player. Has to bolt off himself. On the left leg, he puts it over towards Rain, centre field. He gets dispossessed. The umpire said a high tackle. Got it, check side, centre line. Runs it over to Hurd now. Victoria, chance to go into attack. Hurd pulls away with pace. Puts out the short pass, centre half forward. Well done. And he has found Van der Haar about 30 metres out right in front. Greg Phillips can't believe it, but the pass was spot on. Nothing he could do about it. Van der Haar starting to be a nuisance to the South Australian defence. Well, that kick is way offline. 1 point only, and he just made the point. 5-8 Victoria, 5-4 South Australia.
Phillips is on Van der Haar at the moment. I don't know who's made the change. Dermot Brereton has got Matthew Campbell standing him. Phillips perhaps not quick enough in the early stages with Brereton. South Australia having made a change.
Well, I think he's done a fair job, Phillips. I feel a bit sorry for him. He got the job on Dermot Brereton, and a little bit later they put Paul Van der Haar on him. Gee, it'll be like going from purgatory to hell, I reckon. Campbell kicks out to centre wing. Kernahan in front. Good mark. And this man's also played well. His opponent, Chris Mew, he gave Dwayne Russell plenty to go on with early. Bradley fell over and the umpire called play on, which is a good decision. Russell Green belts it back towards Osborne. He runs through the half-back area now. Green. Victoria running it well. The man in front is Lee. He has to get rid of it quickly to Healy. Healy comes around onto that right boot, sends it into centre half forward. That's beautiful work by Healy. And a good mark there by Dale Waitman. Well, they're certainly more productive up forward, Victoria. They're far more efficient. They seem to be able to find loose players, but their kicking for goal's been offline. Van der Haar, just an easy one. Brereton's kicking hasn't been that good up forward. And even Dale Waitman, his last kick for goal, although it was in the pocket, not the best. That's no problems though. Straight through the middle. Dale Waitman's first goal. Victoria pull away now to 6-8. South Australia 5-4.
Well, Mark Lee showing a great bit of movement then into that half-forward line. The ball being delivered in front of him. He couldn't quite get his hands onto it, the big fellow. Very good movement, just evading quite and getting the handball forward. And just nice, again, a nice movement here by Healy, just around the corner, quietly controls the kick into the goals front. And Waitman, who's played a very good game thus far. I think he's been the best rover on the ground, taking the mark and goaling.
Centre bounce, Victoria by 10 points. Johnson up high, centre square infringement against Victoria. Russell Johnson to get the penalty free kick, check side of the centre line. The South Australian ruckman elects to run it over to Bradley. One bounce, drives a long one in towards goal. Getting underneath it, Russell at the back, can't quite bring it down. Russell comes out with the football, wants to claim the mark, but he gives it across to Osman under pressure. Fires the ball back towards the back pocket. Victoria's looking for it back there in the person of Roos. Has to put out a handball, it's not a good one. Brereton comes to meet it, backs into trouble. Kane goes well. Back he gives it now to Roos, who hooks it around the corner. Well done to Royal. The running part of Victoria. Rains playing well and winning at centre. Rains puts out the long one now up towards full forward. Getting back on it is Weston and White for South Australia. In there for Victoria, however, was Waitman. But it's Weston who comes clear for South Australia. Looks for Phillips, goes back there. Van der Haar all over that player. The umpire said play on. Brereton in trouble. Holding the ball and the free kick to go South Australia's way on their half-back flank.
They're certainly not in love, those two. They don't like each other tonight. They're probably good friends off the ground. But Phillips did a great job then. He had to handle Van der Haar, and then he had to apply the bear hug to Brereton. Very well done indeed as he kicks to centre wing. Kernahan in front. The punch away comes from Mew again. Through goes Platten. He's being looked after by Hurd. The siren's gone to end the second quarter here at Football Park, with Victoria having a good quarter. Slightly inaccurate though. They lead 6-8. South Australia 5-4. It's certainly been a top quarter in, and I guess the Victorians, when they went up forward, they got up there pretty well, but they missed a few easy shots.
Yes, Peter, I think Rains is winning centre, and the ball is being delivered to the Victorians a lot better than South Australia is delivering it to their forwards. And of course, Victoria's defence is putting pressure on all the time. South Australia making hard work of it. But Robert, it looks like a Victorian typical style game where they put that pressure on South Australia, then start to edge away. And that third quarter is going to be terribly important to South Australia.
It certainly is. I feel like that quarter, South Australia were kicking into a slight breeze, and I thought, just sitting up here quietly watching, we were forward of centre more than the Victorians, and I thought it was a very good quarter of football. There's not much in the game, and we certainly can look forward to a great third quarter.
At half-time, Victoria 6-8 leads South Australia 5-4. Change players who came off then.
Michael Redden's moved to full forward for South Australia. It looks like Craig and the young fellows off for Port Adelaide Lad, full forward.
The start of the second half here in the big clash between Victoria and South Australia. The visitors 6-8, South Australia 5-4. Lee gets the tap down. Quickly Green gets it out to Rains. The Victorians go into attack. Out now in front of Mark Harvey. Can't quite get there. It wasn't Harvey. Up there it was Williams, and the ball is socket off the ground, and it goes out of play in the right forward pocket.
Yeah, Dwayne Russell's the player I was trying to think of. It looks like he's off, and Michael Redden, the ruckman, is resting at full forward on Terry Dempsey.
Peter Markey, you might try to pick up any major Victorian moves in a minute. Lee hooks it back beautifully. Green a chance. In that back, Stephen Wallace is on the ground. Merritt on the lead. And he's got a fine mark. Well, he's going to play on into the pocket. Waitman there. And he's got it in the full forward pocket. In fact, he's improving his angle by about 15 metres. But it was well done, Merritt. Quick reflexes. And the big fellow kicked a fine goal from about that position in the first quarter. But Waitman is a lot closer in. Yet the Buddha goal, he's just changed all that. Kick number 9 goes through for his second goal. Sorry, yes, he kicked one in the second quarter. And Victoria move on to 7-8 to 5-4, and they have played their 22 players.
So Russell Green moving the ball on very quickly into the full forward area, where Merritt coming out took the mark well. Perhaps would have been inclined to have a shot at goal. He's a very good kick. His kicking in the first half has been excellent, but confident to use Waitman as he's just sneaked up into that full forward area, put him 15 metres from goal for an easy one.
Russell Johnson for South Australia, and Mark Lee, who's done a very good job for the Victorians. Again, the bounce not recalled. Yes, in fact, it's going to be this time. No, South Australian free kick. Too many Vic players in the square. No one home for South Australia. The ball went straight through, but it's going to come back. Johnson's going to have another kick. Umpires are confused. Players are confused. So am I. So are the crowd at the moment. Johnston will go long. Kernahan on a lead, but 2 players back there. He'll get swallowed. The player in front was Paul Roos. Couldn't take the mark. Keith Thomas fighting for the ball. Players everywhere at the moment. Antrobus is over the top of it as well. He might get caught holding the ball with a bit of luck. If you're a Victorian, that is, but the umpire will bounce. Yes, I noticed Dwayne Russell walking off the ground at half-time. His right wrist seemed to be protruding at a bit of an angle. I hope that there hasn't been a bad break there. The centre of the ground now fighting for the ball is Stephen Wallace. He's in fact the player we were talking about. He broke away with it. White overruns the ball, so does Motley. White comes away with it though. He did it very well, Robin White. Got it out to Michael Aish. Plenty of shepherding behind the pack there. The Aish handball puts Antrobus in trouble. He hasn't handled the ball too cleanly tonight, Antrobus. Bradley, a big kick winner for South Australia in the first half, gives it back to Antrobus. He goes into centre half forward now. Kernahan behind. Won't mark that one. Comes off hands. Roberts got rid of it very quickly. That's Rains, who's probably winning the centre, as we mentioned. He kicks out to centre wing, getting under the ball. A good mark there to Mark Harvey. Kick Victoria's second goal. Coach Neil Baum. Harvey's kicked to centre half forward. Russell Johnson fighting very hard for it. Michael Aish at the bottom of the pack. Got the handball clear, but Mark Lee kicks it back for Victoria. Robin White again, met heavily there by Dale Waitman. Gee, that was courage from the young rover. Gerard Healy for Victoria, showing a clean pair of heels. Hooks back to Roger Merritt. And that's twice that Gerard Healy's done that now. He's won delivery of the ball. He's just gone sweetly around onto that right boot and fed it beautifully further afield. There's the angle. There's no angle. Roger Merritt is dead set in front. It should kick Victoria's 8th goal. He's been a good player. He's had 2 goals already. Now he's got 3. Victoria have started well in this third quarter. 8-8 to 5-4.
So it was Wallace at half forward and bent the player very strongly then, able to get the ball forward to Healy, and Healy just coming around in the pocket, getting the ball back. Healy coming, number 8 it was, kicking the ball into the pocket. And Healy on the turn, did it so easily, very calm, cool and collected, very confident with the foot to the front of the goal square. And Merritt is a very fine kick.
A moment of truth for South Australia. Antrobus gets it across to McIntosh under pressure. Antrobus butters up again, but it's the ball taken out there by Roos out towards Rains. With him is Russell Johnson. Antrobus for South Australia on top of the ball with Rains, and the ball will be bounced almost in the centre circle again. 8-8 Victoria, 5-4 South Australia. Lee got up the taller of the two, got the tap down. It looked like the high tackle on Hurd. The umpire said a free kick to that player, and he's going to get it from check side of the centre line. South Australia player warming up there in Michael Bennett, an erstwhile back pocket player, but does take a spell on the ball. Is Victoria kick clear there through Roos, up towards the half-forward line. Getting back on it is South Australia's Campbell, and he'll clear for SA. Oh, kicks into the man. Umpire Argent said that Steve Wallace had come over the mark, and he's going to give him a 15-metre penalty. Campbell changes tack, does he? No, it's a better kick this time. He looks as though he's going to the outer side. Goes for Kernahan, who's being well swallowed by the Victorian defence, and it's Mew who takes a fine defensive mark. Roberts off for South Australia, and Bennett on the lead. A good pass, finds Van der Hart. Van der Hart on the wing at the moment, thought about it. Anderson chopped off his kick. He kicks long in towards the half-forward line now. Merritt there over the top. Big mark, Motley. The umpire says play on. Although he's going to play the mark, is he? Yes. Motley, brilliantly. Motley at centre-half back.
That was almost a mark, or was it a mark? The umpire said it was. Motley goes long. Kernahan on a lead to that outside pocket. Takes the mark. But G's having to fight hard for his kicks against Chris Mew, who's played him very well. Kernahan has got 2 goals. Hasn't had the ball put to him too well. He's probably too far out to score, and South Australia haven't got a lot up forward. Roberts off, and also Dwayne Russell. The Kernahan kick will fall short. Redden up high, he's marked it. Redden will be paid. It was Peter Cameron who paid the mark too, so I think we can take that as paid. Mike Redden at full forward. Puts it through for South Australia. That's a bonus. A goal from a ruckman. 6-4 South Australia, Victoria 8-8.
So a 15-metre penalty to Stephen Kernahan, the kick long and strong, and Michael Redden, who is a very fine player in South Australian football. There's a lot of people think that Michael Redden is perhaps not that great a player, but believe me, he does some great work. His ability in the ruck is terrific, and they're just showing some of his ability to mark the ball. He's marking around the ground for North Adelaide this year. Has been superb. He's a very, very fine player, and perhaps he'll give South Australia a lift in that full forward area.
Victoria by 16 points. Lee against Johnson. Lee's tap away. Bradley ace tap cleverly forward, however, by Victoria's Hurd. South Australia through Phillips, but a free kick is going to Victoria. Going to Van der Haar, or is it Brereton? Brereton for an elbow. He's got it at centre-half forward, just looking a little groggy at the moment. But let's have a look at it again. And the tackle from Bennett hit him in the face. Well, Brereton's kick is a huge one. A monster going right in. A big mark, Van der Haar, in the right forward pocket. Do you think this fellow's added some strength and talent to that Victorian already talent-laden forward line? Van der Haar being forced around in the right forward pocket. Greg Phillips on the mark. Umpire Peter Cameron just moving him around. Booted a goal. Victoria by 16 points. Have a look at that for an angle. Oh, what a beautiful kick. That is a goal, a brilliant goal. Paul Van der Haar, his second. And that will certainly do no good for South Australia's morale. 9-8 Victoria, 6-4 South Australia.
Dermot Brereton again showing what a great kick he is. Receiving that kick, a hip and shoulder bump, hit him in the head, so he just got up, quickly produced a 70-yard drop punt right from the edge of the square, lobbed it on the goal line, and coming out and across the back, taking a very, very fine mark, Paul Van der Haar.
Victoria starting to control the centre at the moment, but a free kick at centre-half back. We'll see Peter Motley take it against Dermot Brereton. And he's having a bit of an argument with the umpire presently. Over to Phillips. Gerard Healy appears to have a bit of an ankle problem. A bit of by-play again between Phillips and Brereton. Victoria running out of half-back. The running play now for Victoria is Russell Green. He goes short into Van der Haar. Back it goes to Russell Green. He runs it through into an open goal. Nobody home for the Vicks. In fact, it's gone wide. It's through for a point. And they're certainly playing with some sort of control now, Victoria. They're 9-9. South Australia is 6-4.
Looks ominous for South Australia. Leslie the kick into the lead of Motley. Brereton there. Good mark. Fine mark for the South Australian youngster. Let's have a look at it again. 9-9 to 6-4. South Australia under a lot of pressure now. That last goal came from a running movement off their half-back line. Very little pressure put on Russell Green as he ran through their half-forward line to get the ball. Motley's kick is going longer up towards Thomas. Back there is Osborne. One-handed, he went for it. Kernahan gives it across to Platten. This way, that away. Around Russo in towards the half-forward line. Antrobus there with him. Russell Green. He's playing both ends of the ground at the moment as Victoria come away through Roos up towards centre wing. Good play there by Victoria. A chance for them to go into attack now through Wallace. Phillips comes across. The handball out is Wild. Working hard for it is Leslie. Puts out the long handball. Michael Aish. Anderson thought about it, but he's going to kick long. Kernahan sets himself centre half forward. Thumped away by Mew. Quickly back now. Russo gets the kick away. Anderson. Thumped forward by Victoria's. Russo, not Russo, it was Harvey. And Victoria now goes in through Williams. Smothered beautifully, Robin White. Right off the half-back line. Umpire Argent said he hasn't got the footy, and that's certain to be 15 metres. And that will bring Robin White to about centre wing to put South Australia into attack.
You see why they're reporting people in Victoria for wasting time.
Yeah, the tribunal also letting them off too, Robert.
Yes.
So
detracts from the game, that sort of stuff,
certainly does. Robin White's got it on centre wing. South Australia trailing. It's a moment of great delicacy for South Australia. They've got to start getting back into the game. And here's one man that can do it for them, Stephen Kernahan. He puts it up forward. The running player, Bradley, came right down from centre wing. Roger Merritt doing great work in the back line. Platten's got it, gets it out towards Bradley, comes off hands to McIntosh. Over to Antrobus, left foot out of bounds. I think I know what he said. He kicked that one straight out.
Don't repeat it, Peter. Neil Baum, I think, would like to repeat it.
I can assure you I won't. It's in the left back pocket for Victoria. Roger Merritt playing both ends of the ground. Russell Green could run into trouble, but he runs out of trouble. Gives it to Chris Mew. He's caught. But Victoria backing up beautifully. Rains came in. Motley and Brereton having a bit of a yahoo at the moment. Off hands it comes towards Phillips. Vanderhaar kept that ball in, did it well. Got it over now to Harvey. Harvey goes in long. G. Danaher's playing at full forward now. A fine mark in defence by Martin Leslie.
Leslie inside the half-back line for South Australia. 9-9 to 6-4. Well judged back by Leslie. Gets a lead from Motley on the outer side. Berridon's going to have to work hard, but Motley makes it easily. Out goes Bradley to that player. G. Hurd right with him. A brilliant spoil. Hurd, if he can get us inside the line, did it well. Puts it out now. A chance for Victoria through Roos. Around towards the half-forward line, and it's well taken there by Gerard Healy. Healy plays on for Victoria, puts it up towards full forward. Up there is Danaher at the back of the pack. He's going to get the sit. In fact, that could bounce through. Danaher couldn't get his foot to it. Leslie gets out the handball. South Australia through Thomas. Finds Ace on the half-back line, and he had to work hard for that ball. Down he goes. Against Mark Harvey. The running player is Thomas. Thomas's kick is going to drop short. Not easy for South Australia. Coming through now. South Australia through Kernahan around the corner. But well judged. Victoria's Green in defence takes the easy chest mark.
South Australia have got problems up forward. That's Green's 15th kick, and he passes off well over there to Williams. Williams goes to centre wing. Not much percentage in that kick at all. South Australia now come in through Filkey. He's another player that's just come onto the ground. He's got plenty of pace. Darren Williams smashes it away for Victoria. Bradley caught cold. Gets it out though. South Australia and again through Redden. The kick doesn't give Antrobus much of a chance. Green has the ball on a string back there, and Victoria will run it out again. Player out here on centre wing is Chris Mew. We've mentioned him before. He's played a superb game. The kick away was under pressure. Phillips marked it. Now back to Anderson. Anderson, a very pacey player. Kernahan's under that ball. Too far under it. Green comes in again. What a game he's playing. Gets the handball out. Mew easily sidesteps Michael Aish. Brereton's got the big chance for this one now, but sits for him. Motley's right on him. I don't think the crowd are too enamoured with Dermot Brereton, but he's a good player. Back to Stephen Wallace. He gives a chance up there for Danaher. Fighting hard for the ball there is Martin Leslie. It's out of the left forward pocket for a ball in.
South Australia appearing to struggle for legs now as Victoria doing it easily. 15 minutes gone, third quarter. 23 points to the Vicks. Throw in, left forward pocket. Redden in ruck for South Australia. Danaher over the top. Leslie for South Australia. Boots the ball back towards the half-back line. South Australia with a chance to clear. No, Victoria come in on a long kicking, going in from Roos up towards the forward line. And the ball has gone out on the full. Let's have a look which Victoria player that was. Yes, it was Roos. Short. Thomas for South Australia. Kicks long. Oh, it's 3-on-1. South Australia not giving their teammates much of a chance. Van der Haag. In goes Mew. Kicks Victoria into attack again up towards Danaher. The back of the pack, however, is Motley on the left leg. More trouble here, though. Anderson comes in and takes a timely mark.
Very timely indeed. I think the South Australian supporters are a bit concerned about that one. The kick is to centre wing. Matthew Campbell appears to have been moved to half forward. Here's a chance for South Australia. They got a bad bounce. Green again held them up. Now Harvey. He gets out of trouble beautifully. Green, Rains controlling the centre. A big long kick in towards centre half forward. Take your pick, Dermot Brereton or Van der Haag. And it's Dermot Brereton who marks it. Just the attack side of centre half forward. Well, how would you like to be on those two at the one time, let alone individually? Dermot Brereton hasn't kicked a goal yet for the Vicks. He should kick this one. He's a very good kick. He has just snuck that one in for his first goal. Victoria 10-9, South Australia 6-4.
So Dermot Brereton continues to control that half-forward line. He and Paul Van der Haag have been a formidable combination up there. Michael Bennett being found for legs already, only just come onto the ground, and he's certainly got his socks down and he's almost running on the spot. He's not half up to the athletic ability of the men he's standing. He's having a great deal of strife, and South Australia, I feel, are falling down badly across half-back at the moment. They certainly need to find some teamwork to get themselves back into the game.
10-9 to 6-4. Victoria into attack again through Stephen Wallace. Up to full forward, getting back on the ball. Here's a chance for Ablett. Kusaka through. Oh, magnificent goal! Oh, what a brilliant goal! Unbelievable! Victoria's 11th goal. Ablett second. 11-9 the Victorians. 6-4 South Australia.
Well, they're certainly taking advantage of opportunities now, and it's Mark Lee that's providing them. He's doing some wonderful work in the centre of the ground, and Wallace, of course, has been in everything since half-time and getting the ball forward. And Ablett, what a wonderful player he is when he gets a chance to get at it, an opportunist. That opportunity he took full advantage of, just half-volleying the kick through, just as it hit the ground, true soccer style. A great kick for goal, and Victoria looking excellent.
Well, he can play in the FA Cup on Saturday night if he wants to. He is a real star, Ablett. Victorian to attack again, and they're completely controlling the centre at the moment. South Australia have problems.
McIntosh has dropped right out of the game, Peter. In this quarter, he hasn't. Yes, he's had one handball, and South Australia, a lot of their players are down on their heels, not running.
5 goals, 5 the difference, 35 points. They'll certainly need to lift and quickly. Antrobus was hit pretty hard. He's having a go at Darren Williams now. I must say I don't blame him. The little ant won the Magarey medal 2 years ago, and he's got a shiner by the look of it. And there's the action replay. He certainly had got rid of the ball, but you can see his black eye there, the left eye.
It's not stuff they put under their eyes for the lights, is it, Peter?
No, I'm not
got
sure.
A black eye come up that quickly?
There he is, number 11.
Whatever it was, it would have hurt.
Certainly would. Anderson, he gets 15 metres, or call it 50. He's down on centre wing now. South Australia need goals. 18.5 minutes into the third quarter. Running out towards that position is Johnston, but he's easily beaten to the mark by number 4 for Victoria, Osborne. Played pretty well too. That's his 12th kick. Getting under the ball now, Redden. Couldn't take the mark. Van der Haag is caught. The handball finds Antrobus. Michael Aish running through. Here's a chance. Russell Johnston's under that ball. And he'll mark. Good mark. Running straight at him was Roger Merritt. But Russell Johnston held his ground and took a fine mark. So Roger Merritt was shifted to full back. Danaher had a full forward. With Players of that calibre, of course, you can play them almost anywhere. Russell Johnston's kick away is slewed off to the right, only a point. 6-5 South Australia, the Vicks are 11-9.
Won't do anything for South Australia's confidence. 19 minutes plus gone. Merritt gives the lead to the outer side. Johnson lumbers off after him. Merritt right out in front, beautifully put. What a perfect pass. Merritt on the half-back line, runs the ball across here to Hurd. Hurd bounces his way out of defence for Victoria. At centre half-back now, puts out a pass, goes to the half-forward line. Good mark there by Paul Rouge. Rouge wants to play on. He's got a lot of players playing well now in the forward line. South Australia's Western is going to be a lever. Big leave, Ablett. Oh, what a mark. This fellow's brilliance is starting to come to the fore. Look at him get up there, goes for the set. Comes down awkwardly, but a brilliant mark 35 metres out. Neville Roberts waiting to come back into the action. With the eyes of the Victorian camp squarely on number 18. The umpire said he's popped on goal number 3. And Victoria running away at the 20-minute mark of this third quarter. 11-9 to South Australia's 6-5.
So Gary Ablett continues to take advantage of opportunities. He's starting to get quite a number now. I think in the first half, Victoria didn't go into attack a great number of times with any confidence after the first few minutes. But in this quarter, as they did early in the first quarter, they're showing a great deal of confidence to that southern end of the ground.
Well, Victoria are turning the game into a bit of an exhibition at the moment, leading 12-9 to 6-5. They're tearing away from the centre of the ground. Dale Waitman's got the ball now. Scintillating pace as he runs into half forward, sets it up from that position. Has he kicked a goal? I think he has. What an incredible run away from centre from Dale Waitman. That's his third goal. And they don't come much better than that. Victoria 13-9 to SA 6-5.
Well, Big Mark Lee's the man behind it all. He just touched that ball over the top as Waitman came through. Great understanding by the Richmond pair. And Waitman, what a beautiful movement that was. Very reminiscent of Jeff Rains, actually. Very similar type of movement. A long, strong, striding movement. And a very good kick at top pace.
Victoria by plenty. 46 points to be exact. Lee again gets the tap away. This time Platten reads it. Waitman right over the top of him there with Peter Russo, and the umpire's going to give him a free kick for a high tackle. Check side of the centre line. South Australia's forward line's looking a bit bedraggled now as Coach Barr makes a lot of moves. Waiting for the ball is Ace, runs into trouble. Quickly there now is Yates for Victoria. Out towards Anderson. Also there is Osborne with the umpire and Mark Harvey, and the umpire will come in and bounce on South Australia's half forward. Over 22 minutes gone. Kernahan up. Thomas tried to get through Lee, and Brereton put paid for that. Brereton has gone from the forward line. He's back on the half-back line at the moment. He might have just gone upfield looking for a kick. Plenty of players around the half-forward line for South Australia. Lee thumps the ball clear. Back towards Motley. He's got one to beat, but he hooks around the corner. Big Johnson comes to meet it. Spoils Victoria. Kernahan, Thomas looks for somewhere to go. Gets it out. Bradley trying to wander his way through. Gets it back. South Australia's McIntosh. Out wide. Anderson's going to have to work hard to that towards the line. Beats Osborne. Kernahan puts it in the air with a chance. Going to be close. The back of the pack is Big Johnson, but he thumps the ball clear, and I think it goes out of bounds. Yes, in the right forward pocket, and the South Australian camp have got huge problems.
Certainly have. Kernahan has been smothered all day, and the player on him, Chris Mew, the very talented player. Mark Lee is killing the South Australian rucks. Off hands it comes now from Platten. He picked it up and stepped away, and they certainly need goals. And that was a great one to Johnny Platten, his first. The South Australia fight back, 7-5, trailing Victoria 13-9.
South Australia scrambling goals a little bit. Gary McIntosh got the ball out wide, but Mark Lee it was when it came into the forward line to put his hand on that ball, just knocked it forward, and John Platten, snaring the opposition ruck, kicked the back screw. He just screwed it back through the goal. A very quick and accurate kick.
McIntosh has been booed out of centre now. He's on the half-forward line. Thomas for South Australia. Hurd did it well to Waitman. Caught on the left leg, puts it out. Van der Haar with a chance if he can pick it up. Paddles the ball well, but it's South Australia's Thomas who comes through strongly. Off the half-back line, boots SA into attack. Coming across is Osborne. Couldn't get the sit on the ball. Yates back. Oh, he's lost that one. Campbell with the pace. Beats one, beats two. Centres it out now to Roberts. Roberts underneath the ball. Fine pass. And Roberts, who's come back onto the ground in the last minute, takes the mark about 45 metres out as Sheedy has a look for the phone. Kevin Sheedy would be happy at the moment. 6 goals plus, but he won't stop there. Roberts for South Australia. Gee, he's gone back some 30 metres, or the Victorian might be coming up onto the mark. Roberts from about 45 metres out. That kick is going to be short in the square. Kernahan over the top, got the footy, nowhere to go. Quickly onto the boot of Mew. Back towards the half-back line, Campbell. Beats Yates, sets it up again for South Australia. Too far for McIntosh. All Victoria in defence, and big Mark Lee takes the easy mark.
Best big man on the ground, Mark Lee. Victoria running out again through Williams. A big punch away there from Michael Bennett. And it's out. Just the attack side of centre wing for South Australia. A big deficit there. Trailing by 39 points. Mark Lee and ruck. Platten takes it away again. Grubbers one up forward. Osborne it is who clears. Getting under the ball is Thomas. He copped a high one and he'll take a free kick. Thomas appears to have been moved to the centre for Victoria. He goes into centre half forward now. The big pack forms. South Australian pair of hands there. Russell Johnston, he's got the ball at centre half forward. And he has been a pretty good player for South Australia. With plenty of hands up there, and his were the strongest. It would be an understatement to suggest that South Australia need goals, but Johnson's done exactly the same with that one that he did with the previous kick at goal. A point, 7-6 SA, Victoria 13-9.
Into time honours, the third quarter. Victoria, the kick in coming there from Mew. Michael Ace at the back of the pack, he's got two to beat. Got through one, did it well to Thomas. Thomas winds his way through, puts it back for South Australia. Out comes Victoria through Mew, gets it down to Osborne. South Australia's Phillips. Phillips at the attacking corner of the square, puts in a long one. Kernahan getting back on the ball. Good luck, Kernahan. Only about 5 metres out. That lifts the big crowd here. They need some lift at the moment. Stephen Kernahan, 5 metres out, right in front, is booted too. Victoria front, everything at him tonight. Former South Australian champion and selector Barry Rodwin there as Kernahan's 11th kick goes through the centres. South Australia 8-6, Victoria 13-9.
Victoria had 2-on-1 against Stephen Kernahan there. Then they had him down in position. He made a big metre to get across the back of the pack to get to that ball. It was Phillips who rebounded it to him, trapping the ball in the centre, finding a quick, powerful metre or two. Sent it over the top, and Kernahan coming from well out of position, just showing his great agility. In fact, I know I would like to see him play in the middle of the ground at times. He's got a great movement for a fellow so tall, and that was a great mark.
South Australia have put some fight back into their game. Very close to the three-quarter time siren as Redden goes up, taken off hands by Rains. Platten in there fighting. Out it comes to Aish. South Australia have lifted. Under the ball out there is Johnston. Roger Merritt spoils very well. Matthew Campbell comes in. Ball's kicked off the ground. Bradley can't quite get there. And we'll see a ball in the right forward, in the right half forward area for South Australia. They trail 8-6 to 13-9. We're past 28 minutes now. Russell Johnston and Mark Lee. Lee from behind. The tap away towards Platten. He's come into the game a little bit. Lee mishandled. Unusual for him. Victoria just momentarily out of trouble. We'll see a ball in centre wing. Motley's got the job on Brereton, and Brereton has really got the crowd against him tonight, but I don't think that would concern him. Pushing away there was Redden. It comes to Bradley. Bradley hooks around the body. Now Thomas starting to pick up valuable kicks in the centre. Not quite sure which way to go, but he passes off to Bradley. Bradley's kick is going to be cut off by Mew. The umpire called play on. It came out to Aish. Kernahan has the ball taken off him. Anderson's got it. Kicks over the shoulder. Underneath the ball, Aish. Platten also there. Platten's got it. He passes back. Filkey's under the ball and takes the mark. Well, a lot of players touch the ball. The final movement was pretty productive. Filkey has got it. 30 metres out. It's an important shot at goal. He's hooked it, and he's only got the minor. South Australia 8-7, Victoria 13-9.
Very close to three-quarter time. Merritt's going to kick the ball in for Victoria. Coming grandstand side. with the lead of Lee. Within there is Redden. The back of the pack waiting for the ball is Williams. Hooks the ball towards the half-forward line. There is Thomas. Not Thomas for South Australia. Bennett. Quickly in now. Motley wants Bennett. Also there Thomas. Back to Bennett in the 1-2. On the left leg goes long up towards Plutton. Russo there for Victoria. Also there for Victoria is Harvey. And Harvey boots the ball centre field. Range, who's been a bit quieter, gets the ball thumped away. Lee gives a chance now to Paul Roos, who sends Victoria into attack with not a good kick. And it's South Australia's Greg Phillips who takes them up. 29 minutes plus gone. Phillips floats one into the half-forward line. Redden at the back of the pack. Ace gets it off him. Didn't have the footy. Umpire says a free kick, however, to Victoria. And it's going to Rains at centre half-back. Or Lucius further afield. Lee has broken clear for Victoria. He sets it up now for Van der Haar. Also there is Harvey. And he's got it. Wallace it is. Wallace about 35 metres right out in front. And big Mark Lee read the play well then for a ruckman. He got out in the open and acted like a link man and gave Victoria the chance to get into goal. Stephen Watts didn't enter the game until the third quarter. Now he's got a chance to put his name on the board with a goal, but he's just offline a point. Victoria 13-10, South Australia 8-7.
Martin Leslie will kick off very close to three-quarter time. The grandstand side, big leap in front, Redden. No mark, the handball comes out. Michael Ace is on the end of it. Now Platten. He thinks about Anderson. Anderson beautifully smothered on that occasion. Great effort there by Yates. Back it goes to Thomas. The siren has gone to end a great quarter for Victoria, in which they advanced to 13-10 to lead South Australia 8-7. Start of the last quarter here at Football Park. In ruck for South Australia, Russell Johnson, Mark Lee. Ace got the first kick away. Bradley on the sidelines, pushes it through to Kernahan. He swings it out wide. Connolly on the ground again. The handball didn't work, and Victoria get out of trouble through Mark Harvey. Good mark back there to Motley. Probably South Australia's best player. This will be his 18th kick. Certainly played well. He handled Gary Ablett for a while. Two South Australian players up, Campbell and Connolly. Well smothered there by Yates. Not Yates, the player was in fact Russell Green, one of Victoria's best player. He's handled the ball plenty of times, Green. He's had 15 kicks and 16 handballs, 31 disposals. Up to three-quarter time is very useful. The kick away then came from Hurd. He did a fine job on Platten early in the game. Now Motley yet again. Van der Haar fell over on the run-in. Roos behind. He was always going to mark that ball. Paul Roos on centre wing. 8-7 SA, 13-10 Victoria. Paul Roos kicks into centre half forward. Brereton, Van der Haar over the top. No, it was Ablett in fact, couldn't take the mark. Royal swings away, then he gets the handball out. Ablett again, a quick hook around. Van der Haar under the ball. Also Healy out there, off hands Weston. He kicks the ball over the centre of the ground. Through it goes now to Bradley. He passes off to Kernahan. Connolly's on the other side. He hooks it in. Redden can't get in front to take the mark. Mark Yates punched it away, and we'll see a ball in. No, in fact, we'll see a free kick. It's going to go to Roger Merritt for pushing the back.
Merritt short across the Roos has played well. Roos off the half-back line, goes in short towards centre wing, and that's well passed. New made a mess of it, recovers well. Now he's going to have to give it away in a hurry, but Victoria batting up well. Well, the pass back there by Wallace wasn't good. New against Kernahan, out goes New. Bradley, the handball's going to set Connolly up, he's under pressure. Victoria's Russo on the half-back line, looks back towards centre half forward. Coming to meet at Van der Haar. Gee, he's made a difference to the Victorian forward line, and he'll put them into attack from centre wing. Changes tack onto the left leg, up towards full forward, or a little bit of an edge there, and it's Osborne with the chance, not Osborne, that's Ablett. Ablett now sends out the handball, Russell Green, he's been a clear William, or he put a teammate into trouble, the handball to Wakeman, quickly Danaher now under pressure, Royal, well tackled, gets out of it now, one to beat, hooks it, going to be just offline a point, in fact, he's only just made a point, no, it has been gone out of play on the full, and Victoria put under pressure then by the South Australian defence.
Lucky to get off, but gee, what a great movement by Ablett. He's one of the quickest players I've seen, and I'd certainly hate to stand him. Anderson gets the quick kick away, getting under the ball out there for South Australia is Thomas, also Richard Osborne for Victoria. Thomas got the good bounce, kicks in towards full forward. Roberts coming around under the ball. Good mark. He had to cut in front of Redden then also. 8 yards. Neville Roberts hasn't had a big night. Taken off the ground in the third quarter. Kicked 1 goal in the second quarter. Gives that ball plenty of height, but he certainly got the goal. A great one from the South Australian captain, his second.
So Neville Roberts takes South Australia, scored a 9-7, Victoria 13-10. He goes back a long way behind the mark. Last year we saw him have a few. Shots for goal last year. He wasn't able to get his leg through the ball in the last quarter. When he had a shot during that third quarter when South Australia needed to lift, he wasn't able to. But now he can, and can South Australia get back into this game?
Yes, Robert, it's the moment of truth for the Crow Eaters. They're down by 27 points. Victoria into attack through Russo. At centre wing on the outer side. Wallace gets dispossessed. Holding the ball against him, and the free kick will go to South Australia. Michael Bennett on the half-back line. Sends the ball towards the lead of Kernahan. Gets his hands to it, can't complete it. Quickly in is Matthew Campbell. He's at centre wing. Has the pace to break clear. Drives South Australia into attack. Up towards the half-forward line. Well pumped away by Rouge towards the line. First there is Russo, but the ball beats he. And also South Australia's Anderson out of play. A magnificent sight. A packed crowd. Almost 50,000 people here at Footy Park. In the last quarter, 5 minutes in. Lee, gee, he's been a top ruckman for Victoria. Hooks the ball back. Over there, it was taken by Victoria. And finally the handball goes out to the running Rains. Rains over the half-forward line with a long one in towards the pocket. Getting underneath the ball and doing it well as Ablett. Ablett caught on the left leg. Hooks back down. Which way would it bounce? I think it was very close to hitting the post. And the ball has gone further across the ground. But it is a point to Victoria. 13-11 to 9-7.
Gee, that Van der Haar handball across from centre wing then. Must have been all 30 metres and it was spot on. Kick out comes to Phillips. Bradley gives him a short lead. Weston goes a bit longer for him. It might beat them all over the line, in fact. It does. Paul Weston has played pretty well this evening. Plenty of opposition down there in the form of Roger Merritt and also Danaher. Throw in Van der Haar and the likes of Gerard Healy and Ablett running around the place. It makes life difficult. There's Van der Haar again. Certainly a great mark, Van der Haar, and what makes him so good is the size of his body. Once he puts the body in front of you, you've got no hope. You can't spoil him either. Mark Lee, probably best man on the ground. He certainly had most influence on this game, that's for sure. Paul Roos with the left foot kick. Getting under the ball out there is appeared to be Danaher. Would have to be with socks down. He's in the left forward pocket. Terry Danaher, he's going to go short. Ablett's on the lead. Out of the blocks very quickly. That was a Lawrence Olivier job. Getting a high one was Brereton. Comes out now to Ablett. But the free kick has already been paid against Dermot Brereton for holding the ball.
Yes, a 15-metre penalty with a fly as well. Umpire Peter Cameron.
Van der Haar's gone to centre half back. Muse off.
Thank you, Robert Odie. Johnson from Leslie. On the half-back line, Bennett is running or set it up for him. He's going to have to work hard close to the line. Got it centimetres inside. Michael Bennett from centre wing for South Australia. Puts in a long one. Kernahan there, tucked away from that player, but straight down to Connolly. He's on his wrong foot, which is his right foot. Puts out the pass in towards full forward. A chance now. Bradley twists and turns over to Kernahan. Kernahan under pressure, gives it back to South Australia. Roberts hooks. Great goal, Roberts. Third goal. Got it from Matthew Campbell. And South Australia fight back. 7 minutes into the final quarter, but still trail 13-11 to 10-7.
It's hard to remember all the handballs came from, but they certainly were great reflex handballs. One by Campbell, the last one was a beauty when Bradley got it forward first early, and then Kernahan, and then finally Campbell. He was having to do the quick one. It was straight on to Roberts, and that's a good bit of play, and Roberts just steadily putting it through. South Australia are coming back. It's a matter now whether they can keep up the pressure.
10-7 plays 13-11. Mark Lee is still in ruck for Victoria. Through it goes to half forward. Now to Dermot Brereton. Off hands it comes to Royal. He's running into an open goal and he's grabbed. to Leslie it goes. A wobbly old kick away, sees Anderson on the outer side of the ground, duck the head, but get out of trouble beautifully to Keith Thomas. Thomas goes off. Can South Australia build up to another goal? Thomas goes long to centre half forward. Everybody appears to have stopped out there for some strange reason. The umpire comes in, has a chat to Neville Roberts. And the free kick, or the mark in fact, is going to be played to Danaher. He goes in short. Van der Haar. He was a centre half back a little while ago. Now he's at centre half forward. Playing all over the place at the moment. Ablett in front. It went through Bennett. Slipping over out there was Russo back onto the ground. Ablett's kick away towards Brereton. It's not a right angle, that ball. Wakeman off the ground. And he's got his fourth goal. Ablett certainly a freak. He set that one up. Victoria 14-11. SA 10-7.
Well, that was the one that Bob Holland would have been proud of that leggy as he came in. Ball spinning in every direction, running right across the face of goal and kicking back into the goal square. Ablett just sort of swinging it back. I'm not sure whether it was touched off the boot or not, but it certainly bit into the ground. And Wakeman again, he was there. He's been at the fall of the ball all night, and he's done a great job for the Vicks.
Greg Phillips in trouble. He's injured. He's been sent into a back pocket, I think. He also looks exhausted. He's done a lot of work chasing Ablett and co. And Van der Haar. The ball goes out to the outer side. Here's a chance now for Harvey. The tackle was high. In they go. Players, Harvey doesn't look at all happy down there. A quick kick out now by Anderson to the outer side. Getting underneath it. Matthew Campbell. And he's got it. Quickly slipped it over Bradley. He bolts. Michael Ace a chance back to Bradley. Oh, one too many South Australia. Roberts under pressure now from Hurd. And the ball will be bottled up in the full forward left pocket. Let's have a look at the bump again and see what happened. Peter Marker.
Actually, it wasn't the bump that got him. Watch the next one. Just missed.
You saw it on 7.
Back to the forward pocket. Platten into the pocket. It's over the line for a ball in. Yes, he caught one early with a bump, and he caught another one right behind the back of the head, which hurt him a bit. 10-7 SA, Victoria 14-11. A couple more goals to South Australia will put some fire back into it. Michael Redden's going to get a free kick against Mark Lee. Redden will go in long. Kernahan's in the square. In between players. Gee, Danaher nearly marked that ball. And the crowd boo. I'm not quite sure what for. 10-8 South Australia, 14-11 Victoria.
Danaher. The kick in to the lead of Rains. McIntosh there, working hard for the ball, gets it out. Roos, back now to Merritt under pressure. Back to Roos in the double play, but he couldn't pick it up. Gee, there's some tired players out there. They played 2 games in 3 days. And a long kick in now by Paul Roos towards the half-forward line. Boy, there's no one home back there. Victoria's Wakeman's got the pace to beat White, or has he? He puts it out in front of Van der Haar towards the goal, gets it onto his boot. Goal, Victoria! Beautifully done, Van der Haar. 3 goals. And now South Australia will really be pushing wind uphill to get back in this game. 15-11 the Victorians, 10-9 or 10-8 the home team.
Well, Greg Phillips is limping on as this all happens. Wakeman coming across the front of the goal again with pace. They able to get the ball forward, and Van der Haar maintaining his balance right up to the goal line, just dribbling it over there. And too much for South Australia. Victoria able to apply that leg power that's required just to hold balance long enough. And Dwayne Russell back onto the ground for South Australia.
Well, I bet the Victorians are glad they bought Van der Haar. He's certainly given them a great deal of fire up there as Anderson goes forward. Mark Lee doing everything right for Victoria. Passes off to Russell Green. He goes short looking for Royal. He finds him at right half-back flank. Royal's kick is high. That'll be out, well, very close to the line. Yes, it's out on the full. And Motley will take the relieving free kick. Motley did the job on Ablett earlier. He's doing it now on Brereton. Motley's 20th kick. Probably South Australia's best player. Kernahan and Danaher. He smashes away the latter, close to the line. We'll see a ball in on centre wing. Victoria leading 101 points to South Australia 68.
Nearly 13 minutes gone. Throw in, Merritt and Redden. In go the heavy bodies. Redden's tap, couldn't find Platten. Royal can, however, boots the ball out of play on the ball. In fact, it went into the crowd. And Peter Motley will line up again for his action replay penalty free kick. It's where he started about 30 seconds ago. The crowd starting to sing for South Australia. They're over 5 goals down. Kernahan, fine mark. He's been frustrated all night with the Victorians stuffing the ball clear of him. Platten puts it out, but it's all Victorian. Roberts won't have the speed. To go with Victoria's Yates. Yates boots him into attack up towards the half-forward line. Ablett again. One hand, Weston. Did it well. Wayne Russell, but his handball is going to put Bennett under pressure. In goes Wakeman. Gee, he's got some toe. Ablett against the tide. Wakeman's free kick. Hanging on when he hasn't got it. Wayne Russell is horrified, but the free kick goes to the Victorian Rover. He's got some toe, this young fella. 4 goals. Fine performance. As we mentioned earlier, been in brilliant form for Richmond in the VFL, and he certainly carried it on tonight. 13th kick. Nice looking kick, and that puts it straight through the middle. 5 goals, Wakeman. Victoria running away at the 14-minute mark. 16-11 to South Australia's 10-8.
So Wayne Russell coming back into defence. On this occasion, grabbing hold of Wakeman, who's definitely been after the ball like a real Rover should. He plays a Rovers game. He's up and down the ground on both ends, but tonight he's certainly had some great success inside half forward, where he's been able to get hold of possession. His kicking's been excellent, and his ability to be at the fore of the ball has really maintained the pressure around the pack for Victoria, which has been helped, of course, by big Mark Lee in the run.
Back to the action now to the outer side of the ground. It's Stephen Wallace for Victoria. Takes a fine mark. Plays it on immediately. Gerard Healy in front. Hasn't had to do a great deal tonight, but what he's done has been very neat. That's Russell Green. Big disposal getter for Victoria, and he kicks a point with that one. In fact, 17 handballs, 17 kicks, 7 marks. Russell Green. That's a power of disposals for one player. Peter Motley for South Australia.
And Michael Aish off the half-back line, a long kick towards the half-forward line. Kernahan uses his body well, he said, illegally. And Danaher's going to get a free kick for a push in the back. I don't think Stephen, it is Danaher. Kick to the half-forward line. South Australia. Good mark there, taken by Campbell. He started on the half-back line, been moved into attack, but hasn't had a big night. Leslie kicks long this time to Kernahan. He's in front. Well, they're going to give him this one. Stephen Kernahan's going to get 15 metres as well. Roberts is on the lead, but Kernahan's going over his head, but it's all Mark Lee back there. Johnson behind. Danaher for Victoria. Farms it out. Intercepted there by Platten. Thomas a chance. One to beat. Oh, he puts himself into trouble with that handball. Big Mark Lee runs it out. On the half-back line is Merritt. The running player for Victoria now is Wakeman. He's been running all night. Sets it up for Roos. Roos kicks in long up towards Healy at the back of the pack. Fine mark. He outread Wayne Russell on that occasion, and Healy has taken the mark 35 metres out in front. South Australia's fans now very quiet indeed as Victoria exert their superiority at the 16-minute mark. They're almost 5 up now, 7 up now. And there it is through the middle. That's Healy's first goal. Victoria 17-12 to South Australia's 10-8.
Well, Victorian coach Kevin Sheedy has been happy to put Mark Lee back to full-back, changing with Roger Merritt on the South Australian ruckman Redden and Johnston. And on that occasion, it was Mark Lee who began the rebound. Beautifully done as he just took the ball, one grab, set the ball in motion until it went right to the forward line, untouched. Wakeman in the action again, and going through to Healy, and Healy scores. And the crowd just starting to go home as they might. Victoria in complete control.
17-12, 10-8. Redden up very high. Running out now is Russell Green. He gets it over to Shane Hurd. Off hands to Bradley. Michael Aish couldn't mark that one. Coming in now is Danaher. Played very well. Floats one out of defence. Getting under the ball out there is Ablett. Off hands again it comes to Motley. Player grab there for Victoria was Mark Boss. Players all around the ball, and the umpire is going to bounce it. Bradley there having a bit of a rest initially, but decides to get up. Redden tries to put it down Bradley's throat. He's grabbed. The kick away is out. Not on the full. It'll be thrown in on centre wing. Well, the danger signs went up when Mark Lee started to get on top of Ruck about 10 minutes into the third quarter. Since then, players like Wakeman, Rains and Co have been alive. Of course, the forwards have reaped the benefit. Quick kick away then. sees Danaher try to half volley the ball. Kernahan is with him, but it's out again. Right half forward flank for South Australia, but they're trailing pretty miserably at the moment by 46 points.
They sure are, Peter. Merritt against Kernahan. Through Waitman. Beautiful handball out there. Gives the running Rains a chance. Rains will go for a run now. Bounces into attack. Puts a long one in up there looking for Victoria's Healy at the back of the pack. Also Ablett. So easy as he takes the ball about 25 metres out right in front. What a superb footballer. Read it perfectly. South Australia chose to wait down and let each other do the work. But Ablett went for it and took a fine mark. Gary Ablett. 3 goals to date. You can almost hear a pin drop here at Footy Park. The South Australian fans are not exactly breaking out in cheers. 4th goal of Gary Ablett. 18-12 Victoria, 10-8 South Australia.
And then a beautifully judged mark by Gary Ablett. Gee, he can jump so high from a standing start. He doesn't need any assistance. And when he goes up, he does it so well.
McIntosh for South Australia tries to break through the centre and gets a free kick for his trouble. Looks off for the handball, but he decides to kick a high ball to centre half forward. Gee, any player that can mark that is an absolute hero. Running out of the back line again is Green with a long handball. Victoria starting to do it easily. And that player out there is Stephen Wallace. He hooks into centre half forward. But it's Motley again, South Australia's best player. Breaks through the Gerard Healy tackle. Passes off to McIntosh. He confounds the opposition and concedes ground. Puts it out to Martin Leslie. And he hooks it straight to Russell Green. The running player again, Waitman. He's been a star. Geez, handballing is superb. Rains has to concede ground, but he hooks around. He can certainly get distance around his body. Almost scores with that one. Or almost scores a goal, should I say. That's a point. 18-13 Victoria, 10-8 South Australia.
Yes, South Australia have been run ragged. They're looking very tired indeed, chasing Guernseys. Michael Aish loses the headgear, but has the strength to run on over the half-back line. Wobbles one towards his half-forward line. Russo there, but Redden takes it clear, but it's only to see Rouge get it back towards centre wing where the ball goes out of play. Paul Rouge has played very well for Victoria. Merritt against Redden. Victoria by 53 points. Waitman looks for Royal in the pocket. With him is White, but the ball goes out of play once more. The silence is almost deafening at the moment. 18-13 to 10-8. Over 20 minutes gone. Redden, fine tap, flat. In towards centre field, but the Victorians have set up a ring of defensive players there, and it's Merritt this time who takes the mark, gives a chance to Russo.
Russo's quick kick away into a vacant forward area. Gerard Healy runs in. Now Stephen Wallace hooks around the corner. But a good mark taken on the last line of defence by Leslie. He plays it out wide. Getting out on the outer side of the ground there is Anderson. Couldn't take the mark. Victoria coming again. Russo under the ball. No mark. Platten tries to run it through. Can't, but he's tagged without the ball, and he'll take the free kick. Victoria have had some fine players this evening. None better than Mark Lee, who's really set it up for the small men, in particular Dale Waitman, who's capitalised, of course, with 5 goals. Danaher caught, pushed in the back, and he'll take a free kick. Gary Ablett has certainly fired himself up in the latter part of the game, and he's got 4. Vanderhaar's been a star, didn't start the game, came on as an interchange player, but he's controlled the forward area and he's kept it off with 3 goals. Wilson got it out on that occasion, and a long kick in from Roger Merritt, and he's played well too, and that brings up his 4th goal. And Victoria run away to 19-13 to the SA side, 10-8.
19-13 to 10-8. 22 minutes plus gone. Red gets the tap. McIntosh tries to wind his way through. The handball finds South Australia's Filkey, but it's Danaher who sends Victoria up towards centre field again. Red puts the ball to the half-forward line. Fortuitously finds South Australia's Filkey. On the left leg, Kernahan on the lead. He's worked hard all night. Victoria have worked hard trying to stop him, but the youngsters come out with his head up. He put a long one right into towards full forward. Platten up over the top. Conceding the point there is Russo. And South Australia have got their first score for quite some time. In fact, in this final quarter, they've only managed to add 2 points today. Victoria, and they have added 6 goals, 3.
Well, Shane Hurd certainly made it difficult for Platten early, but the Victorian Rovers have certainly shown a clean pair of heels to the SA boys, although Mark Lee has certainly made it easy for them. Russell Green again for Victoria. Coming out is Gerard Healy, but he won't mark that ball. Oh, good bounce there for Victoria. Sees it come off hands to Wakeman. He runs into an open goal, his sixth. And Victoria virtually doubled SA score now. 20 goals, 13 to South Australia, 10-9.
Yeah, we didn't say that, Ian.
Yeah, we didn't say that. Maybe next year. There's always next year. Platt. Matthew Campbell puts the ball in towards the full forward area. Out comes Redden, but getting back on the ball is Lee. Kilkie over the top. Lee, Thomas, Platten, Russo, and Roos. And the ball is bottled up inside the South Australia half-forward line. A sorry scoreboard for the home side. 10-9 plays 2013. They've given it everything, but on the night, certainly not good enough. Redden got it out to Royal in turn. Danaher. Danaher shoots it back towards his half-back line, almost Michael Aish. He's probably going to get a free kick for a push. He's on the attacking corner of the square. Aish to send South Australia into attack again. Not a lot of movement in the forward line. Kernahan over the top. Fine mark pulled down there by Victoria's Mark Yates.
Played well very early in the game, Yates, against Roberts, and he's finishing off the game. There's a fight and half forward. I think that's of more interest in the football at the moment. They're all jumping in. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, Gerard Healy not paid the attempt. Peter Motley gathers the ball, and the fight's on. You can see it in screen.
Be interesting if the ball comes back into South Australia's forward line. Everybody's in a fight. None of them are playing footy.
They can see the ball coming back now, though, and they've all scattered.
Looks like the charge of the Light Brigade.
Offhands it comes to Anderson. Is anybody in the square? Behind the pack, Kernahan. Offhands, it's out of bounds.
The best part of all that, though, Peter, when you were broadcasting up top there, Anderson was standing on the edge of the square watching the fight, and suddenly he turned around, the ball was at centre wing. He thought, oh, I better keep my eye on this.
It pays. It pays. To the right forward pocket. The home side would like a score to get some sort of respectability in the finale here. Kick away, though, is going to run out of bounds at right half forward flank. The force of Platten and Antrobus. Antrobus taken off the ground. I don't know whether he's injured or not. Aish kicks the ball forward. Getting under it is Keith Thomas. Thought about playing on, did. Superbly read by Mark Boss. He kicks back looking for Shane Hurd, but it's Russell Johnson there passing off to Bradley. He runs through half forward. Kernahan wanted it. Bradley goes in long. Redden. Roy was on hands and knees. He wasn't praying at the time either, but he took a fine mark. Michael Redden has kicked one goal in the third quarter. South Australia have only got two in the last quarter. Redden makes it 3. So Redden's got a personal tally of 2. South Australia a belated goal, 11-9. The Vicks 20 goals, 13.
Johnson gets the tap away. McIntosh couldn't get an effective handball. Likewise, Russo the kick, but they force it to the half-forward line. Victoria. Ablett against the tide, hooks it around the corner. No, that wasn't Ablett, that was Williams on that occasion. Up towards Ablett now. Quickly on the ball was Motley. Did it well. Gave a chance to Leslie. In turn, Michael Aish will run the ball out of defence for South Australia. He's well shepherded there by Bradley. Allowed to have a couple of bounces, pushes out a pass on the leaders, Matthew Campbell, and he's got it on South Australia's half-forward line. McIntosh is centre field if he can get it across that way. Looking in there for Kernahan. Danaher showing good speed, getting back. The Victorians definitely have finished on better, South Australia. Going through is McIntosh into the open goal, and he's missed. Umpire Peter Cameron, I want to call him Sutton, is going to give McIntosh another kick, I believe. Going back to ask him if he wants it, and I'm sure Macca will say yes. It's purely academic, as we've played over 28 minutes, of course. But that was a typical McIntosh dash through the pack.
Sorry, yeah, he's putting on a bit of an angle. I reckon he was running in almost straight onto that goal, and the umpire's got him a fair way out in the pocket.
We won't argue.
He'll take it, though.
He's not a picture of sartorial elegance, the old Gary McIntosh, is he?
Just come from Timbuktu for a quick game.
He's all strength, all heart. 10 metres out. Oh, I think he's missed it. Umpire Des Hillebrand says 1 point only. South Australia 11-10, Victoria 20-13.
The difference is 24 plus 33, a bit of additions here. 57 points. Certainly a big victory for Victoria. And mark a great deal of it down to the man that just kicked the ball, Mark Lee. Paul Roos marks at half-back. Appeared to be off. It goes out to Mark Yates. He passes off to Williams. He's played a pretty good game too, Darren Williams. He's won a lot of hard balls. Well, Vanderhaar it was. Certainly a lot of blonde-headed boys playing for Victoria this evening, and the mark taken down there by Dwayne Russell.
I reckon the Victorians are like the Chinese, Peter. They all look alike.
Certainly do. Thanks for that, Ian.
Particularly when you've never seen them before, it's hard.
Russell passes off to Motley. Motley kicks to centre wing. Getting up to the ball out there again is Roos, and he's, of course, a very good player for Fitzroy, a young player with an enormous future and a good presence too. Kicks it to centre half forward. Getting under the ball out there, Wakeman. Gee, nearly took the mark uncontested. But the siren's gone to end the agony for the home side. And the Vicks run out victors, 20 goals, 13. And South Australia, 11-10. Just going through perhaps best players and goal scorers for Victoria in. Dale Wakeman got 6, Roger Merritt 4, Gary Ablett 4, Paul Vanderhaar 3, and singles to Dermot Brereton, Gerard Healy and Mark Harvey. What about best players for Victoria, Robert, as you saw them?
Well, I thought Mark Lee played a tremendous game. Mind you, the whole team did. Coach Kevin Sheedy shifted players around quite regularly, but Lee and Dale Wakeman were a great combination. Merritt was terrific. I thought Wallace did some good things when he came on after half-time. He added a bit of boy the life to that half-forward line, where Dermot Brereton played a very good game, although a little emotional at times. He certainly had done well. The big fellow, Paul Vanderhaar, had done a good job. Jeff Rains played well. His directness through the centre of the ground was of great value to the Victorian team. But all in all, it's a great team performance. Gary Ablett came into it as the game progressed and decided across centre and across half-back.